Mic check. Let me get a 1 if you can hear me. Give me a 1 if you can hear me. As we proceed. Yes. 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 Gather around, everybody. Gather around, everybody. Gather around, everybody, man. Hit the like button. Thank you so much. Actually, you know what? Let me do this while everybody get in here. Let me do this while everybody in here. There we go. Definitely gotta do that. Gotta do that. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, everybody. Easy, what up? What up? What up? Said stop reaching. I said stop. Yeah, man. We're gonna get to the tariffs. Young Jay, what up? Cynical, what's up? Jago, what's up? What's up, Hope? Everybody relax, man. Said once you realize these politicians as actors reading from a script that promotes the common one world agenda, you stop listening to all of them. No, I agree. But my thing is, it's the audacity, man. Shout out to JC. He sent me a Cash App yesterday, but the stream was over. Hey, Eustace Familiar, man. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Let me do this real quick. Easy said, I hope Todd does the religious stream because his own life story plays into all of this. I got a bruh. Don't get me started with the religious live stream, man. Don't get me started with the religious live stream, man. I may have to do one because I may have to do a live stream on religion because I got some bunk feedback, really. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not about. Let me do this real quick. You know. Yeah, I got some bunk feedback, man. And hold on. My bad, y'all. Okay. Yeah, so I got some bunk feedback, you know. I got some bunk feedback, you know, pretty much saying I was being disrespectful towards Christianity, but I don't never disrespect people's religion. I always critique and criticize how religion is being applied and used, you know. And I'm pretty sure that most people understand that, right? Even on here, there are plenty of Christian people here. There are Muslim people here. There are the tribe guys is here. I got the tribe guys here. And you know, I even had a Jew on here. You know, Black said you can't talk about Jesus, man. Listen, man. Hulk said I'm talking about these fake folks. For me, man, I don't disrespect people's religion. I'll say that. But when people do goofy stuff with religion, that's when I gotta step in and be like, that shit goofy as hell. And I'm not gonna stop doing that shit. You know? I'm not gonna stop doing that shit. You know, and then I gotta accept this person's religion over this person's religion because You know, the same way you feel about Jesus, this person feel like Muhammad, this person feel like about, you know, Buddha and like I get it, you know. Everybody got their religion. I don't knock people for worshiping what they worship, but once it crosses my path, you know, then we got a conversation to have. All right. Yeah, Tesla is not the enemy, you know. Like what, you know, what was one you know what, once we start saying we got to go save the Holy Land and all the rest of this stuff, and you know, I'm out of it. You know, that's when we have the conversation. And at that point, it's not disrespectful for me to say, fuck that shit, you know. You know, yeah, it is what it is. And ultimately, you know, for people who are religious, right? Um, it's up to you to accept the religion. It's not up. It's not up to other people to, you know, live up to religion because you feel as though you have. That's not how it works, you know. But I may do a religious stream, and I think I gave my viewpoints on religion and, you know, how my belief in God, and that I'm not an atheist, you know. I already gave my views on that, you know. But yeah. I'm not doing that shit. You know, then we start splitting hairs. Oh, this is a different type of Christian than this Christian, and this is a Sunni, this is a Shiite, you know, this is a this and this is a that, and it's just like, you know, oh, you know, it's based on how you interpret it and all the rest of this shit. It gets stupid, you know. You know. But yeah, man. Do what you do. I'm not gonna be in the way. Live and let live, you know. So now that we in the building, man, where do we begin? Where do we begin, man? Where do we begin? I just want to get that out the way, because if anybody felt as though I offended them with their religion or whatever, you know, feel free to say so. All right, feel free, because I would like to know when I start disrespecting people's religion and shit. All right, I would like to know when. You know, I would like to know when. All right. Somebody said, when China going to release the next virus? I think at 400% tariffs. Man, let's talk about the tariffs. Do we want to talk with the what do I want to talk about? So much to talk about. So much to talk about. Where's Django? Django, we gotta have a conversation about the bond market. I remember you told me not to worry about the bond market, and that the bond market is nothing to worry about. Don't trip about the bond market. The bond market is safe. The fact that it's, you know, it's volatile means that it's working. Bullshit. What Django at? Come on out the clouds. Where you at? Where you at? Hey, where is Django? We was talking about the bond. Nah, hey, there he is. Yeah, that 10-year bond. Hey, that 10-year bond. Hey, word on the street. Hey, word on the street. Somebody said, hey, man, hey, man, I need you to go holler at, I need you to holler at DJ, man. Tell him about that 10-year bum, man. Hey, he got some act right. Oh, okay. Yeah. We're going to talk about that. Democrats crying, you know, oh, is this market manipulation? And yeah. Listen, I think tonight too, I need to talk about what I like about the tariffs. And I think I need to have that conversation too now, because for one, I've always said that the only way the tariffs work is if the tariffs outweigh the labor costs. All right. And the labor cost is, again, on the low end, 400%. I'm going to just put that out there, 400%, right? Now, what's his name? Kevin O'Leary, he jumping out the window already like, hey, it need to be, the tariffs need to be 400%. And that's when we can start having a serious conversation. We ain't even having a serious conversation at 100, and I believe Trump got Chinese tariffs, the China tariffs at like 145% right now. That ain't even it. That's not even it. I remember when he put 35%, I was like, you got to go way higher than that. All right. 145 is still, it's not enough. It's not enough. You know, 145% is not enough. It's going to have to go. It's definitely going to have to go 400%. And Kevin O'Leary said it. And people were saying that he crazy and that, you know, he's doing too much, but he's not. Yeah, hit the like button. Joseph said, I felt like it would get serious around 200% just to make a dent. But again, even then, right? Even then, we dealing with the decision to be made. Do we stay in China? All right. Or do we go to another market? And I'm not sure if that market is America yet. I'm not sure if that market is America yet. And you said we got 4 years to get to 400. Nah, we got a few weeks to get to 400. And I'm gonna tell you why we can't take a long time, because if we take a long time to get to where the tariffs actually mean something, they get to reposition. Whether that be, you know, opening up other markets, figuring out different ways to do stuff, how they're going to subsidize losses and shit. It's going to have to be like, boom. You know, and if it's not like that, you know, you're going to, you know, it's going to open up, it's going to give them time to like strategize and stuff. Now, man, it's a lot of stuff to talk about. Let me knock these out real quick, man. Real quick. Shout out to Easy said for the tariffs. I'm going to open up the tariff cage match here in a little bit. Shout out to Derek. Derek said, Senior Trump needs someone who wants to work. Uh-oh, see? Mr. Trump. Mr. Trump. Hey, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that because I got to retract my I was wrong live stream. I got to retract I was wrong. I got to retract my I was wrong live stream. All right. I really do. I got to retract it. Okay. I got to retract it. All right. I got to retract it. Because I remember I said, hey, you know, they not going to deport all these people. Matter of fact, should I just get, I want to save that for later. We need more people in the building. Everybody hit the like button, man. Let's get it, man. Actually, let's talk about Democrats crying real quick, because the Democrats is crying. Oh my goodness, the Democrats crying. You know that. So for those who don't know, the market was very volatile, and you know it was. Man, I just call it smart money. You got people that's going to jump in and take the risk no matter anytime the market get real volatile like that. Now, unfortunately, in my opinion, this was definitely a dead cat bounce. It was definitely a dead cat bounce. And that's the downside. That's the downside for the market moving forward. Is just it's so much uncertainty. And then Trump put 90 days out, for the tariffs. And now what happens within that 90 days, nobody knows. And so the money is going to be leaving the market. Money is going to be leaving the market. And if you are foolish to believe that like 70 people call to make a deal with Trump, then you hey, you a different type of person, man. You a different type of person, man. You're a different type of person. Let me get over here real quick, man. Let me get over here real quick. Because people made money. People made money. And now, they trying to run to the courts. But the gang don't give a fuck about the courts.
Apparently went away.
This popped up on my feed not too long ago. And they talking about, whether or not that was inside trading that. Let me say this real quick. This administration has done a whole lot of stuff. A whole lot of stuff that is, I will tell you right now, is illegal. Straight up illegal. From Howard Lutnick talking about, oh yeah, buy Tesla, it's gonna go up. Illegal. Totally illegal. 100% illegal. All right. It's going to go up. Tesla's the future. They're going to have robots all on the news telling people to buy. I'm talking about the Secretary of Commerce, but the SEC will be all over that. But we got rid of the SEC, huh? We got rid of the CFTC, huh? We got rid of the Consumer Protection Bureau. Nigga, the gang here. All right? The gang here. That's why, listen. Man, listen, man. Hey, man, let me get on the big screen, man. Hey, it's some mob shit, man. It's some gang shit. Unfortunately, dog, Grandpa Country is out of here, man. All that law and order shit, man, fuck all that, man. Fuck all that shit, man. Everybody talking about it, oh man, is that even constitutional? Is that nah, man? Fuck, there ain't nobody on that shit, man. Fuck the judges, fuck the Constitution, fuck the Bill of Rights, fuck civil rights. You know what I'm saying? Fuck the judicial branch. All right, we outside, man. We outside. Whoever ain't with the gang, they already got rid of them. So now they out of there, man. They can't believe that. They seeing what they seeing with their own eyes.
We've got here. Well, I guess now it becomes a fact-finding mission, and the onus is really on the folks who are going to do the work.
So Donald Trump, he literally posted, "Now is a good time to buy," and then he front ran the information, and then he put a 90-day pause on the tariffs. The market took a jump. And then people was like, wait a minute, can you do that? The answer is yes, we can do that. The answer is yes. The answer is who gonna stop us, huh? Who gonna stop us, huh? He said it can't be insider trader when he announced it to the world. It's not insider trading, but you can't front run the market. In fact, Elon used to get in trouble for doing this same thing on Twitter. He would get on Twitter and then talk with it. Some people call it talking your books, but some people just say like he was getting on Twitter and then he would say shit to like boost the stock price, right? And then what happened was the SEC was fining him. He was getting fines from the SEC. And then the last time he did it, the SEC pretty much said that whatever you put on Twitter, you have to run through us before you could post it on Twitter. That way, so it won't be market manipulation. So this is how Elon ended up trolling the SEC with Twitter, and that's how he got. That's why he was forced to buy Twitter. Because he just jumped out the window with the SEC. And yeah. Yeah. Hey, he threw a number out there and then tried to retract it like, nah. It was like, nah, you can't do that. You put a legit offer on the table, now you have to buy it. It was an accidental good move because, Twitter went on to gain more value. He was able to sell it to his other company to offset losses with his other company. The gang shit, man. But yeah, so you can't tell me what to put on Twitter if I buy it. As we proceed. He said Elizabeth Warren from the Cherokee tribe. Yes. Everybody relax, Everybody relax. So now there's like, wait, can he do this?
Work. And I want to get back to that in just a moment because I don't want to let the DOJ, the FBI, and the SEC off the hook just because we know that they're going to act in a way that's corrupt. That doesn't give them license to act in a way that's corrupt with impunity. But is there even a way to find out who bought the calls? For example, if there's...
Oh, yeah, it was a lot of puts and calls that was on this shit, too. So somebody knew. It was definitely insider trading going on. But, Hey, man, we finessing, man. And this is, I'm going to talk about why I like what's going on with this gang banging economy. That's what I'm going to call it, the gang bang economy, man, because, it's a lot of opportunities finna pop up out of this shit, man. It's some shit finna get wrecked. I'm talking about wrecked because we talking about the average person don't even know how much stuff was finna go insane. They don't even know about all the margin calls was finna go off at one time. Man, we gonna have that conversation. We is gonna, even people inside the administration was like, yeah, the 10-year bonds, we had to do something. Then Trump came out and be like, well, all these countries we've been talking lying like a motherfucker. But anyways, moving right along.
Folks in the administration, if there's folks in the House or the Senate.
Yep, there are records on this. And that's how it is that the SEC and the Department of Justice actually go after people. And if you think they can't track this down, ask Martha Stewart.
Right.
Yeah, but the gang wasn't in, when Martha Stewart, what I'm saying? Shout out to Martha Stewart, OG Martha Stewart, she didn't snitch. She didn't want to tell on nobody, man. Martha Stewart, she didn't want to tell, man. She walked her time out, man. They asked Martha Stewart, they said, you sure you don't want to cooperate? She said, nah, I can't, it ain't in my pedigree, man. I can't tell, man. I can't tell. So Martha Stewart, the gang, yeah, man. Yeah. Now here's the thing about Nancy Pelosi, right? And Elizabeth Warren, these people, they all in the markets too. Nancy Pelosi and they set up policies and shit to protect their financial interests. Their investments be protected like a mother with policy, doing the most. I'm talking about just a whole CHIPS Act just to defend the tech stocks that she bought to keep people from competing with companies she invested in, man. I mean, just craziness, man. Yeah. What's her name? Marjorie Taylor Greene. She bought the dip. She definitely bought the dip. But yeah, man, this is all, but the gang gonna do it different, man. That's why the gang made sure nobody was around. They cleared the table. They say, you know what? We need to get these motherfuckers out the way. And then, we're going to launch the meme coin, right? And then Melania Trump she gonna launch her scam ass meme coin. And, we're going to run it up, Man, they made millions of dollars just off the transaction fees off of that Trump coin and that Melania coin. Fucking booming, dog. Booming, dog. Going crazy, man, listen, man, going and then looked out for the people, man. Let the hawk tour bitch off the hook. You know what I'm saying? Yo, hey, listen, man. Hey, man, hey, we don't talk about this. Hey, this shit right here, somebody left a comment and said, man, if you ain't got no street smarts, you're gonna miss out on this, all this shit that's going on outside. You know, you're gonna miss out on that shit. But I do want to talk about like what's happening, what you should be paying attention to. But it is what it is, man. Yeah, the transaction fee, man, they made millions. They didn't even have to sell. They didn't even have to sell their position in the scam coin. They made all the money off just the transaction was millions of dollars, bro. This shit, man. Oh man, this for the finesses, man. Man, this for the jugs and finesses, man. That man, I fuck with it. Real shit. Don't come over here with that morality shit. We got 4 years of making the trap go boom, dog. We got 4 years of making the trap go boom, man. And the Democrats, they on the other side, man. They, yeah, they on the other side. Like, is that legal? Is that legal? You can't do that,
And remember.
But do you need buy-in from the SEC to be able to do this? Is this something that Congress has the power to do without buy-in from the SEC, and also that Senate Democrats would be able to do from the minority?
So the people who have access to the information are people who are in law enforcement, because the question here, the investigation we need, is into exactly the facts of what happened. So at the federal level, it's like I said, it's Department of Justice, the FBI, the SEC.
Fair use.
Right. The folks who have law enforcement access. But let me offer one more thought. Congress doesn't have that kind of access. And yeah, in theory, we could subpoena and so on, but that would take a majority and we're back at the same, right? Just back at the same dead end with Republicans. Doesn't let them off the hook, but it just says, can we keep looking for something that might be more effective? State attorneys general also have an opportunity to look at state attorneys general have the same opportunity to investigate, dig in, get what the facts are. So, for example, Letitia James, the Attorney General of...
Knock it off, man. Ain't nothing y'all can do, man. Hang it up. Hang it up. Just hang it up. Hang it up. Hang it up. Hang it up. It's over with, man. Man, so it's finna be so much jugging and finessing, man. These next 4 years finna have so much jugging and finessing, bro. Just so much jugging and finessing. Yeah, they all in, right, man? Come on, man. You know they all in, man. They all in. They on the Signal group chat, like, man, listen, man. Buy in down here, all right? Tomorrow, when the news come, make sure you in. We finna send this bullshit to the moon. Next thing you know, whoop, market going crazy. But now we having a big sell-off right now. So yeah, that's where we at right now. Do we want to get into Kamala Harris talking shit while we on the Democrats? Because I got that on the docket. I do got that on the docket. Kamala Harris talking shit. Let me find this real quick. Let me see. Hold on. Hey, did anybody come to Jason Whitlock defense? Did anybody come to Jason Whitlock defense? Is this it? Let me see. Oh no, I can't even find that shit. Where was she at when she said that shit? I ain't looking at this. Shit. Yeah, everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. Yeah, nobody. Asia said somebody did. Who spoke on it? Carmen said somebody did. Who? Okay, so who came to Jason Whitlock defense? Somebody drop the link. Who? No. He said, oh man. Okay, well, if somebody, okay, my bad. Somebody dropped the link to Kamala. I ain't got that link of her talking shit. Okay, but look, listen, while we at it, let's just get to this right here, right? Fuck it, we got enough people in here right now. Everybody hit the like button as we proceed, okay? Now, when Trump got elected, he was talking big on immigration. And when he was talking about big, he was talking about, I'm doing all this stuff on immigration, blah, blah, blah. I said, man, he'll be a fool to get rid of all that cheap labor. I think the approach that he needs to take is find a way to make them work legally, you know. Don't make, and I'll pull up all the live streams because I said I actually apologize for this stance, even though now, you know, me and my brilliance and my intelligence and my foresight and my hustlenomics and, you know what I'm saying, and just my street smart said the cheapest labor wins. Why are we getting rid of the cheap labor? Let's just find a way to make it, you know, we could get the labor out of it for the low. People said, nah, bro, they gotta go. I said, no, bro, we can't. He can't get rid of he can't get rid of the aliens. We could get the aliens. We could let the aliens work, man. And I said this. I said, man, we gotta have the aliens. We cannot get rid of the aliens. You know. And I even told that's the reason why Anton is on the thumbnail. Because I got to spin the block on Anton. Because when I went on Anton, I was like, bro, you wrong on immigration. They're gonna find a way to revive Grandpa Plantation with the aliens. They're gonna get the trap jumping with the aliens. And you know, I always said, I said, man, I want to put aliens to work. I got big projects. I got, you know what I'm saying? I got big dreams, man. It's gonna require a crew, man. Let me get in the kitchen and whip the work. Let me whip the work. You know, I said it. I've been saying, man, I want a crew of these motherfuckers. Let me have a crew of aliens so I could get my tiny home USA dream off the ground, man. And I thought that my dream wasn't gonna happen, man. My dream of running a slave crew was over with, man. Every time I see them stuffing them in the back of the minivans, and I said, man, they fucking up the work, man. They fucking up the work, man. They killing my dreams, man. And I just need a concrete crew, a steel beam ray, a framing crew, man, landscape crew, man. Let me whip the work, man. You know? Yeah, let me whip the work, man. You know, like, let me whip the work. And I thought it was over with, man. I was like, man, I don't know how they're gonna do it. And then today, man, I got the hey, we back. Hey, we back, nigga, huh? Yeah, we back. Like, hey, listen. I said, man, what did he just say? What I think he said? This ain't caught on really with the MAGA people, right? The MAGA people ain't caught on just yet. This ain't really hit either that or they just ignoring what's happening. But you know, Trump came through, man. Trump came through, man. So let me get this going real quick. Hold on, let me see. I got. Okay, here we go. Let me see. Here we go. Shout out to Trump, man. My nigga, man. Hey, shout out to Trump, man. My nigga, man. We back, man. We back, man. Yeah. Yeah. We back. We back. We back. So yeah, talk to him, Trump.
So they can lay on it as well.
And we're going to work with people so that if they go out in a nice way and go back to their country, we're going to work with them right from the beginning on trying to get them back in legally. Is that right? So it gives you real incentive. Otherwise, they never come back. They'll never be allowed once a certain period of time goes by, which is probably going to be 60 days. We're also going to work with farmers that if they have strong recommendations for their farms for certain people, we're going to let them stay in for a while. And
yeah, you heard the man. Yeah, you heard the man, huh? Yeah. Hey, man, yeah. Yeah. Hey, yeah. Hey, Easy, you already know. Bro. Bro. Hey, listen. You already know, bro. Oh, man. Man, what? This shit finna go crazy, man. Matt Coulter says it's not gonna be for regular people, man. Listen. I'm gonna put y'all on some game here in a little bit, but man, hold on. We back. Let's get it. Here we go.
For certain people, we're going to let them stay in for a while and work with the farmers and then come back and go through a legal process. But we have to take care of our farmers and hotels and, various places.
Yeah, various places, nigga. Yeah. Construction is a various place. Huh? Construction is a various place. Huh? Yeah. Somebody said Alien Forum Foundation. Hey, man. Listen. Man, you can really get some action outside now, man. For real, man. And I've been doing some research with the Department of Agriculture, and it's some grants for housing farm workers in there. I ain't gonna say too much, but I'll send you in the right direction, man. But him saying that we're gonna let the farmers have their recommendation or whatever. But the truth of the matter is they need the labor because watermelons finna have to go out, oranges finna have to go out. A lot of things are about to pop up for harvesting, and they need the workers. Like they need to get this shit on the farmers. They gonna, and they was like, yeah, and then when they leave, they can leave and come back, but it's seasonal. They leave anyways. All right, they leave anyways. So one thing that my grandfather's one of his main jobs was he was a contractor. So they hire him, and through him, he hired all the illegal immigrants. And so it wasn't just Mexicans. You had Haitians. They picking oranges and shit, and then they'll go to cucumbers, and then they'll go to watermelons, and then they'll go up north, and then they'll pick apples, and it was seasonal work. They never stayed in the same place anyways. So this whole thing was like, oh man, they're gonna stay with the farmers for a while, and when they leave, they could come back if they have a letter of recommendation. But various areas, man. Various areas, man. Hey, it is what it is. I'm fucking with it, man. Yes. Open up the cheap labor dope house, man. Let's get this bitch jumping.
For certain people, we're going to let them stay in for a while and work with the farmers and then come back and go through a process of legal.
Oh yeah.
We're also going to work with farmers that if they have strong recommendations for their farms for certain people, we're going to let them stay in for a while and work with the farmers and then come back and go through a process, a legal process. But we have to take care of our farmers and hotels and various places where they need the people.
Yeah, they need the people. They need the people.
And we're going to be working with you very carefully on that. So a farmer will come in with a letter concerning certain people saying they're great, they're working hard.
Yeah.
We're going to slow it down a little bit for them.
Yeah.
And then we're going to ultimately bring them back. They'll go out. They're going to come back as legal workers. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah. Legal workers with no rights. With no rights. All right. with no rights. All right. What's a fair wage is a fair wage with no rights. We finna get man. Hey man, it's finna go crazy. I need to know where I could get this letter, where these letters gonna be at. Yeah. Immigration is back, baby. Listen, dog. You can't go. This country cannot function without cheap labor, and it's just like it's no way around it. It is no way around it. The farmers was already getting ready to, say, hey man, what the fuck y'all got going on, man? We gotta, let my folks whip the work, man. Let my folks whip the work, man. He said a nigga get 10 years for possession, but you let slave traffickers keep doing business. Y'all okay? Y'all not okay if you buying this bullshit. I promise you that this is going to happen. I put money on it. He made sure he left it open too, where he said various areas. All right. Yeah. All the roofing companies and shit, man, listen, yeah, this is my squad right here. I got 30 of them. They all on paper, man. Yeah. He said, like I said, whites only business, man. Y'all got to get on the field and play, man. Y'all got to get on the field and play, man. Y'all got to get on the field and play, man. It ain't even really, you know what? It ain't even, they don't even have to like really put it out there on some whites only shit. It's just niggas ain't even gonna try. Niggas ain't even gonna try. Yeah, me fucked up though. I need to, who got that form? Who got that paper? Who got that paper for the workers? Here what it is, man. Get outside, man. Get outside, man. Hey, man, putting in that work. I'm telling you, you got me fucked up. Shout out to TJ. TJ said, I had a dream. I did have a dream, man. I was like, dang, man. I thought they was going to keep the cheap labor and make it easy for people to, But now we back in business. We back in business, man. Yeah, art of the deal. The art of the deal. All right. Shout out to Real Talk said, MAGA short bus riders always miss they stop. Shout out to KJ. KJ said, man, I had some illegals leave me on a farm with a dead body because they thought they would get deported. Damn, that's not good. That's not good. Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, man, get outside, man. Get you a little crew. Get you a crew, man. Listen, man, y'all, man. I need all y'all here at 8 tomorrow. All right. I need y'all all here at 8 tomorrow. We got to put this foundation in. All right. We got to put this foundation. Then we're gonna, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's wild, man. Yeah, everybody hit the like button. Man, one more time, man. The trap about to be open again. The trap about to be open.
They never come back. They'll never be allowed once a certain period of time goes by, which is probably going to be 60 days. We're also going to work with farmers that if they have strong recommendations for their farms for certain people, We're going to let them stay in for a while and work with the farmers and then come back and go through a process, a legal process. But we have to take care of our farmers and hotels and, various places where where they need the people. And we're going to be working with you very carefully on that. So a farmer will come in with a letter concerning certain people saying they're great, they're working hard. We're going to slow it down a little bit for them. And then we're going to ultimately bring them back. They'll go out. They're going to come back as legal workers. Okay?
Yeah. Now look, man. Hey, man. Listen. So I was reading the comment section. Man, listen. Somebody said, way too fucking soft. We want every brown and black deported. And this y'all saying, oh man, this is gonna be whites only. Hey, listen, man. Hey, FWA don't want this shit. Foundational white Americans do not want this shit. Foundation white America, they rather starve than have food. They would rather deport the food worker force and starve. It might just it might have to be niggas running this shit, like yeah, man. Hey, easy, man. They don't even want to talk about that. 30 million people, and then the numbers dropped off like this. Zoop. And then they ain't even been deporting that many people lately. All the numbers just went like this. Zoop. They stopped reporting the deportation numbers. They don't even report the deportation numbers no more. They just, now, hey, listen, man. Hey, we here. Yeah, Buddy said way too fucking soft. We want every brown and black deported. Somebody said, watch all the illegals apply for jobs in the fields. Yeah. Somebody said, give them work visas, but make them pay for the illegal entry. See, if Trump say something, they'll find a way. Man. If Trump say this is a good idea, it's a good idea, bro. And that's why, man, Elon Musk came up off the biggest lick in American history. If you can influence Trump, they'll do all kind of mental gymnastics. But if we gonna have illegals here, let's do it like this. They switch it up now, man. And they'll start coming around, man. They'll start coming around, man. Make them pay for their illegal entry. So not to incentivize more people from crossing illegally to get the same jobs. Dave DeFore said, this isn't right. Deport all illegal aliens. If you're going to take the moral high ground, you can't pick and choose. Brittany Ray said, did he just say he's giving citizenship to illegals? Sam said, I somehow feel Trump is not the same in his talking style, speed, calmness, and coherence. Is he okay, or is it a body double? He seems weak nowadays with low energy, shoulders hunched, hair disheveled, and very passive. That's not the usual Trump we know. Ari says, Trump gets to decide who is legal. It's fucking insane. This is not what MAGA voted for. These illegals take employment from citizens. Are you saying you will not deport any more illegals besides criminals? Cromwellian says, so Trump acknowledges a year later what critics have been telling him for months about mass deportations, that a majority of U.S. agriculture and construction sectors. See, I told y'all niggas. Hey, listen, man. Yeah. Uncut construction, nigga. We put the whole bitch together. We put the whole shit together. Yeah. So yeah, we got microscopic homes, $1,000 a month. Take it or leave it. Take it or leave it. I got microscopic homes. Take it or leave it. All right. No money down. No money down. All right. All right. Booming. Booming. Going crazy. Outside whipping to work, man. U.S. agriculture, construction sectors, especially framers, depending on illegals, which is 4.5% of the U.S. workforce, and would destroy our economy if you deported them all. He's just now realizing that. Let me tell y'all something, man. Let me tell y'all something. These people know how the economy works. None of this stuff is an accident. None of this stuff is a mistake, right? And if you have an understanding of things, the only things that don't make sense are things that aren't even meant to work, i.e. tariffs. They know that shit is not supposed to work. They know that shit is a demolition tactic, deporting the cheap labor. They already know that's undercutting the you know what I'm saying? They already know this shit. They know what happened. They already know. So that they'd be like, you mean to tell me he just not realizing that, but again, he got elected, and I understand he had a mandate for y'all, man, but the mandate for the money is better, He just not realizing that these people also pay taxes. I said it, that they pay taxes, they are a tax base. I said give them social security numbers if they're gonna be going to work and shit. But hey, listen, motherfuckers like it's illegal. It's illegal. Like, nah, man. If you over here, and again, I said, bro, we 30-something plus trillion dollars in debt. If people want to come over here and pay the shit off, all right. If people want to come over here and pay the shit off, bring them all. All right. If they go to work and they, bring them. Fuck it. But again, man, it's other factors. It's other factors, They start having babies a lot, and let me get out of there. These people pay taxes and get no benefits, but people in the comments demanding that they pay. Do these people also know about H-2s or the Z visas that Graham and McCain had introduced in the immigration reform bills in the past that Trump killed? There was a plan to allow them to pay for temporary seasonal work. Your guy killed it, But it is what it is, man. Somebody said, no, this is the start of what Trudeau did in Canada. He said we needed to bring workers and immigrants for the economy. You may end up with an invasion like we did. Damn. Anyway, man. What? So if a farmer says, not my migrant, that's a get out of fucking deportation free card, but it's okay to kick people out who have paid their taxes faithfully, have never known no other country, and have been here for decades without an incident. Uh-oh. So we'll let them keep their slave labor is what you're saying. Damn. So what if a member of MS-13 or Trinidad Aragua works on a farm or at a hotel? Is that their get out of deportation free card? Tell you, man. Hey, man. Shout out to Bob Ochoa says, maybe a solid bipartisan immigration act now that the Republicans have both House and Senate. Then there's less of a need for carve-outs with tariffs. Hey, it's probably already been said, but Trump could flip the script if he decided, instead of deporting, to create a quick and simple path to citizenship. It will silence a lot of people, and he's clearly sympathetic to it. Unfortunately, he only sees value in certain people. Yeah, man. Somebody says he caving on this too. Damn. He can't really be this stupid to realize the importance of cheap labor and that immigrants have been doing a lot of the work that day-to-day Americans just won't do. I think it's fair that we let them stay as long as they're stealing American jobs. Damn, man. Fucking lit, man. Wow. So now he needs the immigrants? Dang, man. Wow, man. So the border crisis terror talk melts to, but don't touch the cheap labor for my buddies. Damn, man. Anyways, they going in. They going in, man. They going in, man. Mac Ultra said, who else gonna build them 15-minute cities? Ela. Shout out to Real Talk. He said Trump is a political hoe and the red hats are tricking. He's wild, man. Y'all wild. Hey, man. Here's what it is, man. Get to work, man. Get to work. But I said, man, why are they getting rid of all this good, cheap labor? I said that. And I was telling y'all don't understand. I was telling people, man, put a one in the chat if you ever heard me say. I know y'all heard me say, like, they not going to deport. They not finna deport all these illegal immigrants. They not finna deport them all. I said that shit. I even did I think it was like a couple weeks. It was a few weeks ago. I had to apologize. I was like, man, I was wrong, man. They rounding these motherfuckers up. But apparently, apparently it was all just for show, man. Which I appreciate, I'm fucking with it, man. I'm fucking with it. Jay said even Nick Fuentes said the same thing. Well, his people are immigrants. His people are immigrants. Get over here. Hold on. Let me see. What else we got on there? Got some more shit in here. Let me see. Look at y'all niggas, man. Let me get over here real quick, man. I just want to play this real quick. For the baby. I love it. Hey, look at y'all. Hey, man. Well, I was doing my research on black conservatives, man. Buddy popped up, man. Buddy popped up when I was doing my research, man.
Y'all, CJ Pearson here. I am sick and tired of seeing so many people in the black community defend.
Hey, listen. Hey, I listened to this like 8 times, bro. I listened to this like 8 times, man.
Y'all, CJ Pearson here. I am sick and tired of seeing so many people in the black community defend every black wrong just because the person committed the black wrong looks like us. Carmelo Anthony stabbed Austin Metcalf to death because Austin Metcalf allegedly touched his backpack. Now, I don't know about you.
More facts came out. All right. More facts came out. It wasn't no fucking touch the backpack. And that's why I wanted to run this. I wanted to run this place because it's an automatic. It's just an automatic. Just read the script. You just replace the names. Like it just just keep saying the script no matter what information comes out, no matter if it's true or not. You know, you gotta just stay the course. You know, they never come back and fix these videos. They never come back and say I was wrong. They never come back and say none of that shit. They just faithfully just running a 100 miles an hour in the most fucked up direction, you know.
Metcalf allegedly touched his backpack. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't really think that someone touching your damn backpack is reason enough to take their life. It is animalistic.
Uh-oh.
It is disgusting.
Uh-oh.
It is depraved. And it is downright evil. But that still hasn't stopped some of those woke black liberals from coming onto this app and saying, well, he shouldn't have touched his stuff. Is this really where we're at as a country?
Now, again, you can have that viewpoint without even being political, you know. But of course, it's the left-right paradigm. You know, I'm a black conservative. I'm a part of a segregated political. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like it's very strange and weird, you know.
Is this really where we're at as a community? That we are okay with?
And again, this dude would definitely don't claim no fucking community, and he'll be like, "Is this where we're at with the community?" He's like, man, will you stop? Like, stop, man.
We're at as a community that we are okay with violence, even though it is so obviously undeserved, that we are willing to defend it just because the person shares the same hue when it comes to skin tone. You think that if we don't defend this black kid for committing murder, that somehow it'll look unfavorable or disfavorable to the rest of our community. Guys, I don't know about y'all, but this kid doesn't represent me at all. As a black man, as a young man, he doesn't at all. And I think, to be quite frank, if he wants to act like an animal, we should treat him like an animal. And he should get the death penalty. Period.
Well, I tell you, man. Yeah, a Lil Donovan Sharp. I tell you, man. Anyway. Oh man. The whole fake. Is this what we're doing? Like, is our problem? Like, so fake, man. So fake. Just like, is this what we're doing? Is this where we at? Yeah, man. Is this what we're doing? It's like, bro, shut the fuck up. Anyway, man. Moving right along, man. What else did I see, man? Okay, here we go. This more the ops. So this is Colin Rugg. No. Adam Schiff. That's what this is. Why I say Colin Rugg? This Adam Schiff, you know, he want to investigate the gang for insider trading, you know, but it ain't nothing they can do about this shit, man. It ain't nothing they can do about this shit, man. Hey, man, we out of here, man. The gang on the road. Let's go.
How concerned are you with this market fluctuation? And are you concerned that there could be members of the White House that are benefiting from it?
Absolutely. I'm writing to the White House to demand who knew in advance that the president was going to once again flip-flop on tariffs, and are people cashing in? There is just all too much opportunity for people in the White House and the administration to be insider trading.
Yeah.
And you can't put it past them for a minute. So we're going to try to find out.
There's a good chance they'll just ignore you, though, right? Should there be some other
Yes, it's a good chance the gang go and ignore your motherfucking ass.
independent investigation into this?
Well, I think Congress should do an investigation into this, but we're going to demand answers from the administration. I think you're right. They're likely to stonewall, particularly if they've been engaged in corrupt insider trading. but they won't be able to hide it for good. I mean, we know who's in the administration. We can look at eventually what people are buying and selling. This will come out. But an administration that has their own meme coins and is already engaged in self-interested dealing when Elon is doging agencies that are doing oversight of his own businesses. In that kind of corrupt climate, you have to assume the worst, and we're going to try to find out.
Man, we don't give a fuck, nigga. We don't give a fuck. No, hey, man, somebody tell them, hey, man, somebody tell them, man, the guy's on top, man. Somebody tell them that the guy's on top, man. My bad. He said he who saves his country commits no crimes. Absolutely. They were like, yeah, I'm sure, they have meme coin tattletelling like a motherfucker, man. Tattletelling like a motherfucker. You know what I mean? They have meme coins, they have Elon. Elon is going over the books of his competitions for government contracts. It's like, man, we don't give a fuck. I mean, we don't give a fuck. We don't care. We don't care. We don't care. And we're gonna talk about the stock market and why I want them to break the stock market. I hope they break the stock market. I hope they break this. The stock market should have been broke. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it, man. Yeah. Hey, man, the gang in the building, dog. I don't know why they like, I'm pretty sure we can only go by all the rest of the corruption. Ain't no corruption. Ain't no corruption. What corruption? Ain't no corruption. Show me the corruption with your tattletelling ass. Just tattletelling. Do we want to go to the Tim Pool situation? Yeah, fuck it. So apparently, let's get there. Go ahead and put your tinfoil hat on. Tim Pool had a secret meeting with Benjamin Netanyahu. Now, just last month, he got caught taking money from Russia. And so now it's just like, bro, like what? Yeah, that's like, well, what?
Last night I wasn't here. I got late word that I was invited to a private roundtable meeting with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. It was under what's called Chatham House rules. For those that are not familiar, this means that you cannot reveal anybody who attended, nor attribute anything to
why is he talking about it? Anyways,
any one individual, as they can deny it, and they would. However, what I love about what the White House is currently doing, when you bring together a bunch of influencers and podcasters who don't know much about journalism culture, whatever you want to call it, not that we respect it tremendously, most people didn't know what Chatham House meant. So with all due respect, it's funny because they bring us into the Blair House, which is where Netanyahu was staying. And immediately people are walking around with their cameras, their phones up. They actually took our phones from us. And I legit thought they would maintain Chatham House rules, meaning you can't quote the prime minister, you can't quote his officials and the other people who were there, but you can report what was said generally. If you wanted an official quote on a specific matter, you would then ask an official once the meeting was wrapped, and they'd provide you the exact quote. Or they would just say outright, like, we ain't putting our quotes on that one.
Damn, man. So there you have it, man. Listen, man, that's for y'all conspiracy motherfuckers, man. Hey, that's for the conspiracy. That's hey. Apparently, he hiding his small hat under the beanie. Having a beanie on, man, just like a springtime beanie hat wearing mode, that's kind of, that's not good. That's not good,
The anti-Israel social media users like Fuentes' crowd are the biggest pro-Israel group I've ever seen in my life.
So, yeah. So, I guess the FWA they going in they going in on Tim Pool because they pretty much say he sold out to the who's.
The anti-Israel social media users like Fuentes' crowd are the biggest pro-Israel group I've ever seen in my life. Don't take my it's not my opinion.
Oh man, and they got caught taking money from that that company Favorable to spread propaganda. I remember that because it was like 2 weeks ago. Y'all remember that the big soda scandal? So Tim Pool was getting money to like use right-wing talking points to like defend big soda and shit, man. Just silly, man. What the fuck? This is just all these motherfuckers, man. Hey, all these motherfuckers. Yo, the MAGA crowd is just the most buffoonish group of people, man. Said the co-host chick was getting paid too. Yeah, man. It's just like they can't believe it's just like the MAGA red hat crowd is so silly and gullible. And I remember when January 6th happened, the leader of the Proud Boys got locked up the day before. And then it came out that it was a bunch of them was fucking feds. And it wasn't even that they was feds, right? Because they try to argue were there feds in the building? Were there feds? Which is silly because, they don't understand that, yes, they were feds. They was actually feds against each other. They have federal agents within the group that was cooperating. It's just the most gullible group of people. The most gullible group of people ever. That's why when the 10-year bonds went berserk, Trump came back and be like, "Oh, I'll give you 90 days, and 60 countries are trying to negotiate with me all at once." And one day they all fucking like knocking the fuck off, man. But and here we are, and here we are. He said, "Are you saying that the feds are in the Proud Boys?" No, the Proud Boys was turning feds against each other. They was testifying and shit against each other. Yeah. They were feds. It ain't what it is. They were testifying against each other. Yeah, he posted. He was like, "Yes, it's a good time to buy." But we in a different era now, man. Crying and whining and shit. That ain't gonna do nothing. The gang is just steamrolling this shit, man. Steamrolling this shit. Now, let me see. What is this? Oh, is it gonna take me there? Let me see. I gotta watch y'all, man. I can't be out here. Oh yeah. I seen it. They done redid the whole. Yeah. AI crazy, man. I seen that. Yeah, everybody hit the like button. Yes, y'all have to hit the like button as we proceed. So, yeah, if you missed it, farmers get to keep the illegal immigrants. They get to keep the illegal immigrants. Oh, so yeah, let's talk about this too, man. Because while we got the China tariffs going crazy, remember what I said about the Panama Canal, right? And that BlackRock did a deal to buy the Panama Canal. And China came out and said, "Hey, y'all can't just buy the Panama Canal. We have infrastructure on the Panama Canal." Now this shit is getting hot because now we got tariffs going crazy, and we got the the Panama Canal situation going up. And today, Pete Hegseth came out and, pretty much let China know, man, we don't give a fuck if y'all built whatever. And then we built this shit.
Panama and the United States, less secure. Panama and the United States, less secure, less prosperous, and less sovereign. And as President Donald Trump has pointed out, that situation is not acceptable. We are grateful to President Molino, Minister Abrego, and your teams, along with the Panama Canal Authority, for responding to these threats and safeguarding the canal. President Molino's decision to withdraw from the Belt and Road Initiative.
Uh-oh. We're going to have to talk about that tonight. We're going to have that 5% conversation. We got to talk about the Belt and Road Initiative. We got to talk about, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Reflects his government's clear understanding of China and the threat it poses. I want to be very clear. China did not build this canal.
Uh-oh.
China does not operate this canal.
Uh-oh.
And China will not weaponize this canal.
Hey, y'all remember when I told y'all how I was listening to this war strategist, and he was like, if China mess up the Panama Canal and then attack Taiwan, we wouldn't be able to get the naval positioning to respond fast enough. They was talking about how long it would take if we didn't have the Panama Canal, and I think that's funny that he was like, China can't weaponize the Panama Canal because again, it's just a port for commercial usage.
This canal, together with Panama in the lead, we will keep the canal secure and available for all nations through the deterrent power of the strongest, most effective, and most lethal fighting force in the world.
See, so they pretty much, and everything coming with a threat right now. Trump was talking about something and somebody asked him a question and he was like, we got stuff nobody could even imagine. We got bombs and artillery and things that people can't even imagine. And that's if you're talking about taking that route. The reporter was like, not really. I was but yeah, man. We gotta top 10 documentaries of all time. I posted it on my community tab. The Panama Deception. Go watch that documentary so you can know the actual truth about the Panama Canal and, Nicaragua and, the drugs that was being moved through there, through the CIA, all kind of shit, man. But let me do this real quick. Is there anything else I want to talk about? Okay, so the tariffs. So China struck back with an 84% tariff. Now that was yesterday. Trump responded with pretty much raising the China tariff to 145%, which is again, in my estimation, is still low. All right, it's still low because again, you have to outweigh the cost of the labor. All right, you have to go across the cost of the labor. All right. Now, let me see. Now, with the cost of labor, that's going to open up more that because again, the market is going to decide: are these tariffs worth it? All right. Are these tariffs worth it? Okay. Webster said, now you catching on. No, I'm not catching on. I've already said that the tariffs have to be way higher And then if you make the labor enough to come over here, where else in the world are you going to sell that product? I'm still on it. I'm still on it because I want to see this all the way through. All right. And so again, if you come through 500% tariffs, right, there's still an option to not come back to the United States. Then you could go from 500% tariffs to 10% tariff somewhere else. Somebody who got the flat tariff or whatever the fuck, right? It still doesn't make America the best option. It just don't, and basic economics. You can't go around basic economic principles. You just can't. All right. Now let me get over here because we got Kevin O'Leary,
104%
going in. This dude right here. When I watch Shark Tank, he always be the most outrageous motherfucker, man. Just the most outrageous. He reminds me of Mr. Burns. Mr. Burns from The Simpsons.
Said tariffs in China are not enough. I'm advocating 400%. I do business in China. They don't play by the rules. They've been in the WTO for decades. They have never abided by any of the rules they agreed to when they came in for decades. They cheat, they steal IP. I can't litigate in their courts. They take product, technology, they steal it, they manufacture it, sell it back here. Never has an administration.
400% tariff.
And again, all of that is victim rhetoric. All of that is victim. Oh, Mr. Smithers, my bad. Yeah, Smithers. Why'd I call him Mr. Burns? Who the fuck is Mr. Burns? Y'all know I don't watch TV, man. Y'all know I don't watch TV. But anyways, this is all like victimhood rhetoric. Oh, they steal, they do this, they do that, blah, blah, blah. But you still do business over there. Why? It always goes, why? You still do business with them. Why? Because the market chose. All right, because the market decided. Okay, because that's how you maximize your profits. Okay. The risk of losing your IP doesn't override the loss of wages. Okay. So again, coming to America and talking to the consumers about the struggles of how you make your product, he said, Mr. Montgomery Burns. Okay, I was right. Okay, fuck it. But yeah, just sit here crying. Just, I can't litigate their courts. I can't do this. They don't let me do this. They don't. Okay, well, why don't you take the manufacturing somewhere else? Oh, because the margins would shrink. All right, because the margins would shrink. That's why. All this fucking whining and crying and shit. I can't believe that people are accepting this shit. And again, begging the government to get involved with the private sector, I'm still against it. Because the government going to be in on the front end, and then the government going to be in on the back end when you pay sales tax and shit, And I don't know. It just, like I said, it's almost like the right has lost their ways and shit with this. So about to, yeah, we don't play by the rules. Clearly. We don't play by the rules. If you don't buy, if you don't sell oil with dollars, it'd be a shame. Be a shame if somebody blew up all your villages if you didn't sell your oil in dollars. Sanctions and shit. It'd be a shame if we remove your currency from the world from the world reserve, from the world what is that? From the Federal Reserves, it'd be a shame if we remove your currency from all the central banks and made it fucking worthless. Yeah, be a shame if you didn't have a seat at the World Trade Organization. Yeah, through Swift, all the sanctions through Swift. It'd be a shame if somebody and these motherfuckers get on the news and start talking about who's fair and who's not fair. You know. Yeah, you can't sell your private sector goods in this store unless you check with the big T. Yeah, man. But it is Agolf in here talking shit, man. I already made that point, man. I don't care about how much fried Doge fine. That's it. I need to see people locked up. That's what I need. Get locked up. But yeah.
I want Xi on an airplane to Washington to level the playing field. This is not about tariffs anymore. Nobody has taken on China yet, not the Europeans, no administration for decades. As someone who actually does business there, I've had enough. I speak for millions of Americans.
If you had enough, the free market, it's a free market. This tripped me out too because like he one of my favorite sharks from Shark Tank. And to hear him talk like this, it's just like, I've had enough. I want Big Daddy government to go. He need to go meet with Big Daddy. No, man, that's not free market, man. This shit kind of weak, you know? Yeah, just whining and shit. I've done business over there and I've had enough. They don't treat me fairly. They don't just like, bro, take your shit somewhere else. Yeah, take your shit somewhere else. It what it is, man. Go somewhere else. In fact, China would have imploded on itself if China was so unfair. If China was so unfair, China would have folded up a long time ago. Like, nobody would be fucking with China. You know? Nobody will be fucking with China.
Americans who have IP that have been stolen by the Chinese.
And the IP is not stolen. The intellectual property is not stolen, okay? The intellectual property is handed over to them so they can manufacture your product, okay? That's what happened. All right? It was a bounce pass. It was a layup. It was a, you know what I'm saying? That's what it was. Webster said bootlegs. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying. How did they get your shit? How did they get your shit? Yes. How do they make knockoffs? How do they make knockoffs? Oh, you gave them the design and plans. All right. Oh, you gave it to them. They didn't steal it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yes, they reverse engineer your shit. Yes. Once you hand them the ins and outs of your designs and CAD files and drafting and shit like that, once you do that, you know who you're dealing with. And that's another thing too, because these motherfuckers acting like they just be so surprised, like, oh, I can't believe they made a bootleg from the shit that I gave them to make for cheap. Even though I know this is what they do. Even though I know they have a reputation for manufacturing, it is what it is. It is what it is. And it's just very, but again, like I said, the profit margins justify the risk. Otherwise, they wouldn't do it. And we talking about Kevin O'Leary. You think this dude don't know how to conduct business? You don't think he don't know how to source? You know what I'm saying? Like he knows the best place on the planet is China. I will get it for the low. Finna get it to the low, man. Easy said, if you give a beat to a person, can you give it to everyone for free? Okay, see, this is when we start talking about ownership. All right. This is when we start talking about ownership. Okay. That's not the same. They don't even, you can only get copyright infringement or IP violations against against Chinese people. Chinese people are the only people protected with copyright law and shit in China. Everybody else, but they know this going over there. They already know this. They already know this. All right, they already know this. And he was like, "Yeah, I can't litigate in their courts." He knows this. He knows this.
I have nothing against the Chinese people. They brought great literacy, art, and tech to the world. The government cheats and steals, and finally, an administration, you may not like Trump, you may not like his style or his rhetoric, finally, an administration that puts up and says enough. 400% tariffs tomorrow morning. He'll tell you why. Xi can only stay the supreme leader if people are employed. If we wipe out any business there, because we are still 39% of all consumables on earth and 25% of the world's GDP, America is the #1 economy on earth with all the cards. We will not have that forever. It's time to squeeze Chinese heads into the wall now.
Well,
I'm
hold
not
on a
talking about
second,
tariffs
Kevin.
on
Well,
60
I hear you, but hold on. If we're talking about people, the average consumer, not necessarily the head honchos of businesses all across the globe, can they withstand the pressure of that sort of tax on the
It's
goods?
short-lived. There will be
But what's your timeline compared to, you don't know the average American's timeline, what they can actually survive. There's people right now who.
Oh man, this is why I don't. This is why we don't have women on the panels. Like, we talk about economic warfare and shit. You know what I'm saying? We talk about economic warfare and shit. Like, we talk about getting it in, man. We talk about for real shit. This ain't about, the people down the street, man. Shout out to the homie Complex, because I did some more research on on China subsidizing the labor, and I don't know, man. Out there, I think China might be able to fight it out for a longer time, man. I know that you got the 90 days or whatever, but that they not budging over there. They're not budging over there. They not budging. They're not budging.
Can't survive.
400% tomorrow morning. Cheese on an airplane to Washington to cut a deal.
I don't think so, though. I don't think so. Yeah, and they could just revalue their currency. They don't give a fuck. Like, what y'all want to do? What y'all want to do? And that right there is the #1 curse of the U.S. dollar. That is the Achilles heel of the U.S. dollar, is that it's so dominant that other people can just sink their currency if they doing business with us in the States. He said they cannot do that no more. Yes, they can. Yeah, they can. Trump had to beg Japan not to do that shit. Japan said, "Fuck it, fuck this currency." Anyway, we finna chop it up. Let me drop the link so we can get the tariff cage match going, man. Let's get the tariff cage match going, man. Everybody hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Let me do this. Super chat is scrolling across the bottom of the screen, as well as Super Chat is available, as well as Cash App scrolling across the bottom of the screen as we proceed. He said Japan is the gang, China is not. He said they don't have to respect our laws. We negotiated that deal, and now they about to say fuck our IPs, and they don't want that smoke. Big talk, but don't want to perform well. I like the same tariff across the board. So they don't have nobody, they don't have nowhere to go. If they can't keep people from going to different markets and shit, like, I don't know. Said 10% across the board. Nah. Let's talk about these bonds, man.
I'm ready.
I remember you was telling me, he's like, man, the bonds like the safest thing. I said, nah, I think the bonds can break. And he was like, man, it ain't gonna break. I was like, bro, I don't know, man, them bonds. And word on the street was, man, the 10-year bonds had the block hot, bro.
Yes. So yeah, let's talk about it. So when the market went crazy a couple of days ago, right? Obviously, it's a lot of panic selling. Okay, global panic selling was taking place. All right.
Wait. No. Not just panic selling.
Yeah.
It was people who had to sell.
Yes.
Okay, so it wasn't panic selling, like they didn't have a choice. They had to sell. Go ahead.
All right. And so the panic selling is what spurred the people that had to sell, because the people who were panic selling, the people who had to sell were two different groups. So the people who were panic selling, that's the overall market basically trying to get into dollars, trying to get into cash, okay, because of all the uncertainty. When that's going on as well, the people who had to sell, they haven't even stepped into the picture yet. So the people who are panic selling, all of these institutions, pension funds, mutual funds are trying to get into cash, basically causes a global dollar shortage, okay, in the euro dollar market, basically, okay? And so when you have all of these non-US major institutions trying to get into cash, the foreign central banks who tried to supply this cash, since they don't have a money printer, what do they got to do to get the cash? Well, they have these treasuries. So they start selling their treasuries just to get the cash to front for the institutions. But who do the central banks sell their treasuries to? Because we still haven't even gotten to the people who really, really need to sell yet. So you got the foreign central banks, they're selling their treasuries off to get cash. They can only sell their treasuries to U.S. dealers. And U.S. dealers, they basically are special institutions in the U.S. that only really deal in trading in the treasuries and providing liquidity for the treasury market. So these foreign central banks are selling to the dealers, but the dealers, they're not buying ththose treasuries from the central bank with their own money. They're actually borrowing the cash to buy those treasuries, because because they also have balance sheet constraints themselves. They actually aren't allowed to carry a certain amount of treasuries due to U.S. regulations. It's called the supplemental leverage ratio. That's a whole other topic. But basically, the dealers can only hold so many treasuries, purchase so many treasuries themselves. So what they're doing is they're borrowing cash from this thing called the repo market. Okay, where all of the banks and major institutions lend money to each other just on an overnight basis. So you got these dealers now, they're borrowing the cash just to provide the liquidity to the foreign central banks. Okay, and that causes the rate in the repo market to go up. Now we start getting to the people who really need to sell, because these hedge funds that put on this thing called the basis trade, they buy treasuries, they hold treasuries, and they sell a future contract on this. So like, let's say that the 10-year treasury right now is priced at $100, and they go short on the future contract. Let's say that the strike price on a call option in the future for the bond is 105. They sell that covered call, expecting for the price to go from 105 back down closer to 100. Okay, and so they pocket the spread on the arbitrage. When that can't happen, but the thing is, they don't really want to They don't want to sell that contract and then buy it back at a later time. They want to pocket on the spread. They just want to hold that position and keep on rolling it over until the expiration date. So what am I talking about? So they buy the treasury and they borrow money to get the treasury. So they borrow money from the repo market to buy a treasury, and then they sell the futures contract, and they just continually roll over that position until expiration and just pocket the spread. Okay.
Right. But
but here we go. This is the last. This is the very last step. This is the last step. Let me get through it. Since the repo market rate was going too high, that fucks with the arbitrage. So now they can't hold the position because they're, like I said, they're constantly rolling over. It's a 1 day trade. They're constantly rolling it over. And so if the rate from 1 day to the next jumps all the way up, they can't make a profit on the position no more. And now they actually have to sell the underlying treasury that they borrowed and then buy back the contract that they sold. But who do they sell to? They got to sell to the dealers as well. And so now the dealers, just to buy back that treasury, now they also have to sell now into the overall bond market. And so that's where you get there's 3 different entities selling because of this trade unwinding. But the only reason why the trade even unwound in the beginning was because Donald Trump, market manipulator in chief, got on and injected all of this uncertainty in the markets and spooked everybody to flood into cash. And that's what unwound the shit. All right. So now I'm gonna land the plane right there.
Yeah, I wanted to stop you at futures because a lot of people don't understand like futures, and the price is not the actual price when you're dealing with futures.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I wanted to slow it down so you could just say, you know what I'm saying, how and why the spreads have to be where that spread came from.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That's all. I just want you to like. That's why I was in order. But Easy, go ahead. Easy, what's up, bro?
Yeah. What up, Easy?
Hey, what's going on, man? Can y'all hear me all right?
Yeah. But hey, don't trip, bro. Hey, don't trip, bro. The squad about to be 50 deep, bro. I got a whole housing development to put together.
Hey, I told you that the other stream, bro, and you were saying you ain't seen them dudes at Home Depot. I told you they were gonna spin the block because this is actually the second time that Trump has said this about having that little pathway for the illegals to be able to stay here.
Yeah. And guess who on board with it?
What, Elon?
No, the unions.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
yeah. Yeah.
Bro, I keep telling y'all, bro, the United States has been like a testing ground for like a couple hundred years. All they redoing is rehashing history, bro. It's about to be a second class of citizens again, and then they're gonna end up on the back end. The Democrats gonna come through when the riots and protests coming up, where they trying to get free, and that's how the Democrats gonna rise back up into power.
Nah, I don't see the Democrats rising back up in power, bro. Chill out, man.
No, I'm saying it's gonna be a while. It's no time soon. It's gonna be like
a long time, bro.
Yeah, it's gonna be like probably like 10. That's what I say. It's anywhere from 8 to like 15 years, something like that.
Yeah. What's up, Complex?
What up, bro? What up, Complex?
Hey, what's good, y'all? How y'all doing, man?
Chilling, man. Hey, I did some more research on how China subsidized the labor, bro. I think they might be able to thug it out for longer than people expect.
Hey, dude. That's what I was. That's kind of what I was trying to hit at. I was like, man, we don't function the way they do over there in terms of government and business and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? We work off of free enterprise type principles for the most part. Now, y'all been talking about a little bit of socialism going on in the markets. And, even people looking at tariffs as a form of protectionism when it comes to like, the free market capitalism and all that kind of stuff. China doesn't, they do it a little bit, but when you get over there, again, man, their shit is very structured and very subsidized all the way on down to how they matriculate their talent through the school systems into fields of industry and shit. This is why they got so many goddamn engineers. I heard today there's 23,000 different engineering programs that one could get in China. That's how many engineering programs they got.
Damn.
You get what I'm? Yeah. So they're very hyper focused on maximization of their human resources. Now I'm giving y'all corporate speak, but this is the reason why they heavily subsidize the labor, because they invest in it from the education system all the way on up to the corporate side of it, and even into the military too, right? Even if you go into the military, they'll split people off. You got the cyber warfare people, right? The hacker groups and all that other shit, and then they got
my thing is trying to explain to people that we don't want that economy here. Like people think we're in competition with that because we don't manufacture like that. Like,
this is the fundamental problem with this tariff conversation, right? Because you do have two diametrically opposed, let's say, philosophies when it comes to governance. They're diametrically opposed, bro. And so when I heard that comment when you were like, hey, you know what? I looked into that and hey, man, they might be able to slog it out. Well, really think about it.
They're not even
budging. Think about it.
145%. They don't give a fuck. That shit doesn't mean nothing. In fact, they making fun of us over there for putting 147%. And now, wait. So apparently 18 individual companies got new tariffs put on them by China. And this
I heard that.
This the argument that I was trying to say is that, and it's smart on their behalf because all you hear is Trump say China, and they make it a country versus country. But no, these are American companies that manufacture over there. You see what I'm saying?
See, that's the main.
That's where you gonna start seeing that's where you gonna start seeing the stock market get obliterated. That's like like it's just like, okay, this the company, we finna take this company down. 300% tariffs on Apple. Did you see what Apple did? Where they flew in like 4 airplanes full of shit trying to get all the merchandise? Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Oh.
Apple flew in 4 big ass airplanes trying to get in before the 9th.
Dude, I heard something about this type of shit, but on the Chinese side, I heard that there's a few factories in some of the smaller provinces, right? So we're not talking about the main hubs, like for those of y'all that want to know, like it's like Guangzhou, Shenzhen, Shanghai, and Beijing, and I think there's one other one. Those are going to be like your 5 main manufacturing hubs, right? And then you got like the suburb type cities where they got factories too, but they're not. They do some of like the handoff work and shit like that. So they're literally pressing to get these last bit of orders out before like a certain deadline, and then they're like, after that deadline, we don't know what the fuck is gonna happen.
Yeah.
But that's not even gonna work though. They're trying to get it out. Whatever ain't basically already at port right now. And you know what I'm saying?
Oh. Is that me?
Wait. You're talking port, dude. Like when it comes to air freight, not so much.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is it ain't even about like the port. I'm just saying whatever is not over here right now, it don't matter if it get here tomorrow. It's already got the tariff on it. So that's why I was posting in chat. Are y'all even looking at like the news coming out of China, like the manufacturers, what they saying over there and stuff, or?
Yeah, no, I deal easy. I deal with them. I deal with lithium. I deal with battery manufacturers directly. Yeah.
Just get into what they talking about. What they talking about?
So here's the thing, right? Let's go back to that point that you made. You said that they have the ability to tough it out. They do. Some of them ain't really raising prices that much. There's a lot of this shit they can eat. Honestly, if the orders are up, they can eat it.
I'm I'm gonna make this point and let Complex get back to cooking. One of
Go
the
ahead.
things that China is gonna do, and I read an article about this, is China is devaluing their currency in order to
Boom.
combat these tariffs. It's
Thank
you know,
you.
non-tariff. That's what Donald Trump was calling non-tariff trade barriers. And I was talking about
That's
this
not gonna
exact
work
same
this time.
concept. I was talking about the same concept a couple streams ago when I was talking about how if you have an export-driven economy, you have to devalue your currency in order for your products, the pricing on your products, to maintain
To
competitiveness
remain competitive.
internationally. And so
Yep.
the reason why I bring that up is because it ties in to what I was saying about the central banks dumping treasuries, because one thing that countries do all the time in order to manipulate their currency is they'll sell their treasuries just to get the dollars and then exchange those dollars for their own currency in order to send the price up if they want to manipulate it in the opposite direction. You feel me? So that's just how central banks and the treasury markets and all this tariff shit is interconnected. I'm gonna let Complex get back to cooking now.
Yeah, but
So
that devaluing the
just to
currency
follow up.
not gonna work. That's not gonna
Say
work
what?
this time. Devaluing the currency is not gonna work this time. Y'all
Let me
leaving
hear
out a
the let me hear
major
the
piece.
yeah, let me hear the argument.
So the reason why devaluing the currency ain't gonna work this time, it worked in times past, and they've done it a little bit, like in the last couple of days. But the reason why I said it's not gonna work is not that they're not gonna try it. It's the fact that the IMF has already gave them guidance on what they have to do to be able to maintain their status with the IMF and the WTO.
Man, fuck the
The
World
re-
Trade Organization.
yeah, but see the thing is
Hey,
that
oh, go ahead, go ahead.
but look, the thing is though is everybody's leaving out the fact that when Evergrande collapsed, the IMF stepped in and made it to where they have
Oh,
to start repaying all those millions of people that were buying pre-sold homes.
Yeah,
Bruh, they're done.
because yeah,
They're done.
I remember that Evergrande shit because Evergrande is what they were saying was going to start contagion,
right.
which was going to pretty much like a domino effect on more banks trying to fill that hole.
And to
But
see the IMF made they had to start doing that the last 2 months of 2024. That's
yeah,
why I already knew that the tariffs was coming, because that's why I was commenting that the US don't saw the blood in the water. See, before they could have devalued their currency and they could have, done the same old thing, but it's two things that's different. The Evergrande collapse, which is huge. That was like one of the biggest collapses in real estate.
but
And then
here's the thing, though, easy. Here's the thing, though. We got like 50 Evergrandes over here right now.
but that's true. But see, the thing is we're gonna have to, again, it goes back into, are we gonna be able to maintain a certain amount of GDP compared to them? Because now it's gonna become a GDP game.
Why you keep saying that?
Because GDP, this is the same thing that Lutnick, Bassett, all of them are saying the same things that I'm saying. It ties into GDP, because once you start losing GDP, now you're starting to mess up with your credit score, and you're gonna start messing up with the ability to be able to even make the payments on the interest of the debt. When you start defaulting, that's where you run into
Okay, so
huge problems.
who defaults first?
China is probably going to default first, and the reason why I say China is going to default first.
That's what I'm saying. So if they default, who do we owe?
You talking about, so if they did, this is where the other tariffs come in about the flat rate and the negotiations. They're still going to be exporting U.S. debt through the fiat currency, but
Yeah,
what
but
they're trying to,
I believe
they're trying to offload some of that. Like, I get where you're going. They're trying to spread that load out to these other countries to be able to take the hit, so that when China collapses, it's not, because we all know that China holds most of our debt.
I don't see it going down like that. And that's what I said. If China go down, we won't even give a fuck about that debt.
To an extent, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying China going down in the sense of like the country is going to just collapse. I'm saying as this draws out.
No. I'm saying that. I'm saying if China collapse owing us money, ain't nobody gonna shed a tear. They're gonna really just make sure they finish them off.
And
I have a fundamental fucking problem believing that something like that would happen. When you look at the sheer amount of goddamn money and real estate and shit like that the Chinese have parked here in California, right? To literally hedge on this shit, to set up shop here, to start snatching your shit up here. That's why they were buying up farmland and all that. They like, look, we gonna get the value back some way, shape, or form. This is the reason why they're even trying to pass legislation right now to make it illegal for the Chinese to even own all this farmland that they own here right now.
Right, that's what I'm saying. This has all got to be looked at in context of time frame arguments too. The Missouri already, I think it was Missouri, whoever brought that up the other stream, they already winning cases against China to get them up out of here as far as the land. Like they already setting the precedence for that. So again,
I guess the problem, I guess the fundamental issue I'm having with this argument though, and Ty, give me a couple minutes. I'm gonna find this video and send it to you. Is this guy, I follow him on YouTube. He talks about the solar industry and panels and all that. And he does a lot of content on this shit. And in understanding that all your photovoltaic panels, all that shit, 90% of the shit is produced over there. And then not only that, but the materials, the raw materials and all that, 90-something% of that shit, they hold that there. When it comes to the battery shit, 80% of the raw materials is processed there. 90-something% of the batteries are produced there. And so when we say, oh, okay, well, you know, we'll have to slug it out, but I don't think they can make it. I'm not really sure people here are understanding of how reliant we actually are on critical components like lithium-ion batteries. I know people hear me harp on it, but then I go, well, just look around in your house and see how much shit runs on these. And just understand that they produce every last bit of that shit.
It's time to start recycling.
But look, I get that part, Complex, but again, for one,
and that's just one thing.
There are raw lithium processors in the U.S. And that's not even
you're talking about. So let's just do the math on this. I kind of understand that. I gave y'all a company, Dakota Lithium. That's one of the go-tos I could use for some applications, right? But let's really think about this. If China basically has 80 to 85% of the market locked down in totality, right? That leaves 15% for the rest of the planet. So what kind of damage are lithium producers here in the United States really doing?
No, I'm not arguing that they're going to be doing damage right now. I'm arguing, and I'm not even arguing we're going to be doing most of the production. I'm saying that there's enough companies here processing raw lithium. Like it's a place in North Carolina, not far from where I'm from. Again, I'm from a place in the country where literally there's hella manufacturing going on. They're literally producing the raw materials from the lithium ore, shipping it out to places. I'm not saying that we're gonna do it all ourselves. That's where the total 10% tariff on everybody comes from, because now they're about to get contracts and negotiations with the other countries to see who can actually help pick up some of this production.
Man, knock it off, man. That's where we start going into La La Land, bro.
I don't think it's La La Land. I don't think it's La La Land to think that there are countries negotiating with the administration.
Hold on, wait. Hold on. All right, easy. It's just me and you right now, bro. It's just me and you right now, my G. You think 60 to 70 countries?
Look, let me go ahead.
60 to 70 countries hit Trump up out of the blue.
It wasn't out of the blue.
It was out of the blue. He paused and said that they all start hitting me up out of the blue.
No, he didn't do the pause until he said they already had said it was 60 countries before he did the pause.
No, he said it was 40, 50, 60, if I'm not mistaken. No, he said it was 50, 60, 70 countries.
Yeah, see, but he said it was countries already contacted him before they paused.
It was 50, 60 to 70.
Yeah, I think it was at least half.
I'm here to tell you right now.
And then
Easy, I'm here to tell you right now that he can't give you one country, and he hasn't given you one country.
But see, that's the same thing as like saying, you know what I'm saying, Elon is gonna just come out and say, yeah, I've been looking at the contracts of the other companies while I was doing the
No.
Hold on. See, this is why I drop niggas. You don't have to even give no details.
That's true, but
you don't have to give no details.
But why would you give details on whatever specific?
You don't have
deal
to. You say, hey, we already got 5. We got this person, this person. That ain't too hard to do.
They did do that. They named out some of the countries that they're doing deals with already.
Send me the clip.
And you got Singapore, Vietnam, and other places.
I just want the clip. Somebody send me the clips of them said these are the countries. No, they ain't named no countries.
Let's see. I think I even got a clip. Let me check in the.
If somebody got a clip of him said these are the countries, all I know is he put a 10% flat across all of them to negotiate. Look. Plenty of deals being made behind the scenes, and it's gonna take 90 days to do the deals.
Yeah, I think
I gotta go back in. I gotta go back and pull up the clips. But I mean, it makes sense that it's gonna take 90 days because I mean, he already said that they even gonna try to use lawyers this time and not just kind of wing it.
I think it's only one country that actually made an obligation, actually tried to make a deal, and that is Israel. And I seen him do it.
Yeah, but that's just the first one. But he even said when they did that press conference that he kind of, I mean, he might have been bullshitting, but he was like maybe they shouldn't have been the first one to come out publicly. But I mean that at the end of the day, I don't see the video of the Prime Minister of Singapore saying that they want to negotiate. He literally posted that. I don't see we already had all the countries that came before when he first got inaugurated.
5 countries at best. 5 countries at best.
I think he's definitely over exaggerating, but I don't think it's that low. I think it's probably 25.
I'm gonna tell you what I think going on. I think that most of the countries are sitting back to see who can hold out the longest.
That's fine, but you got to remember they all still currently got the 25%. I mean the 10% tariff.
No. Listen, I think they trying to see who's gonna make it. I don't think I don't think these other countries think it's the best thing to do to just be like, let's go and try to get like equal deficits with America. I don't think that they looking at it like that.
Well, they got 2 that they can wait on right now, Canada and China. So,
and see, that's how come we don't have a deal with Mexico and Canada?
Well, we actually got it. I don't think Mexico still got their stuff levied. I think they might even be at 10% right now. But I know Canada for sure. They got the full tariff still on them and China.
Yeah, because they didn't buckle. They retaliated. Canada retaliated.
Yeah, that's fine. It's only been a few days, but I mean, like I said, it becomes a time frame argument. I don't foresee. For one, Canada already immediately had to shut down a factory with like 30-something thousand jobs or whatever it was.
They got factories already shutting down here because of this Chinese shit. Because China.
Like manufacturers, or is it like?
Let me pull that up. Yeah, let me pull that up. I'll show you.
Hey, just real quick, I just want to say that I'm in the whip right now, but you know, Mark Carney is leading in the polls in Canada right now, over Pierre Poilievre, man. Like he's leading like 78 to 22%. So it's kind of looking like Canada is gonna vote Carney in, which is gonna set off this whole Alberta succession thing. I just want to throw this out here because I saw the polls today.
The tariffs going to ensure that jump, bro. And I hope the only thing I seen about somebody saying their company shutting down over here, it was some Chinese dude selling like ginseng or something like that. I mean, of course his company gonna shut down, but I want to see the clip.
Yeah, let me find this shit real quick, man.
Because I really think that I think that for one, like I said, I come from a place in the country where it's hella manufacturing going on. So I know to a certain extent we can start ramping up production over here.
Nah, yeah, we got hella assemblies going on outside.
Because when I go around Houston, bro, I'm not seeing no type of drop off of like business.
Bro, you forget, bro. I work for a shipping company, bro. We booming.
Yeah.
I don't think none of the effects even took place yet.
Hey, you seen that thing about they trying to do the first I know they got the self-driving semis already, but I think they're gonna have it in Texas where they have it where it don't got the person in it at all.
Yeah. I seen one in it looked like they was in Korea, China, somewhere in Asia. They had the truck just I don't even think you could call it a truck.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, where it look like it's just the box part.
Yeah, it's like a box going down the highway.
Yeah, but that ain't really aerodynamic. That I don't think that's that type.
It don't have to be aerodynamic, bro. Because look, what you lose and what will be efficient is like what you will be paying the driver. Like you
That's
still
true.
under cost.
Yeah, that's true. Y'all gotta check out them people in China though. Y'all gotta check out the news coming out of China too, though, man. Like they wild. I want to know what those 18 companies are. I haven't looked that up either.
I didn't find them 18 companies. I was looking for the list.
Yeah, see, that might be a little bit of pinky promise.
That shit. You want to talk about tearing up the stock market? That shit gonna tear that motherfucker up.
It's gonna hurt it bad.
That's what I'm saying. And it's gonna be more precise by the industry and shit. You know what I'm saying? They just start picking different companies to say, we putting tariffs on this shit.
But see, if they do that though, it's gonna go to another stream that you had with that dude. I forgot his name. I think it's like GD or something like that, where he was talking about Intel. If it's some companies like Intel or Apple or something like that, where them profit margins are super high, man, that labor costs, if these tariffs get up to 200% over, them little labor costs that they was worrying about saving, they easily gonna be able to swap that over to Vietnam somewhere or something like that.
That's what I said. That's what I was talking about with Kevin O'Leary. He was like, man, yeah, China treat me so bad. It's like, bro, you would have moved, you would have took your shit somewhere else if it was that bad. You know, and Vietnam, China, Korea, they been undercutting each other. You know, shit. I think that kind of slowed down the Chinese economic rocket ship. You know, they like people start going to Vietnam.
Yeah.
Somebody said pay us back with our own money. Yeah, Israel ain't paying back shit, man. Good luck. Good luck.
Yeah, that was wild because Trump even brought that up. He was like, we give you guys a lot of money.
Yeah, we give you guys a lot of money and y'all still got tariffs on us, bro. That's disrespectful. Y'all killed our presidents. Y'all, let me get out of there. Y'all, let me get out of there. Bring the buildings, y'all knock our fucking skyscrapers down and shit, man. We just, man, and he got pushing in the chair underneath the man and shit, man. Like, it's horrible, man. And I appreciate the cash app too, Easy, man. Thank you, bro.
Hey, no problem, bro. Hey, but that's why he gave him that, man. That joke was I think the coldest thing out of that whole situation is when he gave him that golden pager, bro. Like,
man, nobody ain't talking about that no more.
Like, that's so wild to me that he did that, and like people don't understand. That's why I keep telling y'all about all this is leading to with the shipping routes and stuff, because they gonna build that Ben Gurion Canal. Mark my words, bro. Because
hold on. What do you think about the Panama Canal? Did you hear what Pete Hegseth said about China? And China, but China said, "Hey, we got infrastructure on the Panama Canal, and y'all can't just sell it to BlackRock.
They're gonna have to run it, bro. It's just like what I said about the manufacturers of like Apple's facilities and stuff, the Foxconn facilities and stuff. Technically, if this get bad enough, China can just say, y'all don't got access to these facilities no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could get that bad, but as far as the Panama Canal, I knew that was gonna happen, bro.
We're gonna blow that bitch up, bro. They gonna do something to that motherfucker. They gonna do something to that motherfucker, man. Like y'all just gonna take our shit.
Yeah, they with the Panama, I knew that was coming though, man, because they blocked that BlackRock deal as soon as they was trying to like process it through. They was
Wait,
like, no.
I thought they let it go through.
No, they didn't. I thought China blocked the the purchase of that.
Oh,
I think
okay.
that's why Pete down there.
Okay, let me get this out the way real quick about the tariffs and the stock markets and all markets really. And why I do want this shit to totally implode, because I don't think people understand that the boomers' money is at the top of these markets. And throughout history, right, there were times when we were supposed to have wild resets that would have been opportunities for us, but it never dropped. It never happened. They just kept putting more money into it, and they kept that shit out of reach for you to just, do your thing. And in the process of these companies growing and shit, they would even just buy the startup company. And so you can't even get on the ground floor to fucking the other companies and shit. Right? And then they would sell that company or get rid of that company as competition and shit. So you had to like hang on to, the what do they call the top stocks? Just the top stocks, right?
Yeah, the Mag 7.
Yeah, so they would never like come in reach where you could be like, okay, I'm gonna latch on to this, and then I can contribute to this and build I can build a position on this and let it grow over time. They just ran it so rugged that they just shut everybody else out. And I do want this shit to fucking pop.
I agree with that, bro.
I wanted to pop.
I agree with that because it's not even just stocks; it's the housing market and everything.
Yeah,
like
bro.
they holding on, and they actually the ones that's like holding on, selling to BlackRock and all of these other places.
Yeah.
And BlackRock is literally on. They want everybody to just be renting houses and stuff. They don't want nobody really purchasing houses like that.
Yeah, so I really do. I want this motherfucker to pop, man. And then, of course, because some of these companies, they're not even delivering. We're talking about companies that should have been gone a long time ago. Companies that should have founded and started other big companies, just they've been just regulated into existing. You know what I'm saying? Like shutting out small competitors and shit. It's just been a rugged ass market for a long time, dog. For a long time.
Yeah, you ain't been able to really get in to be able to get those gains like how they were getting the percentages and stuff.
Bro,
Because
you can't, bro. And when the market was more a Zone hit the link, but he popped up. But whenever they had these big, cycles, boom and bust cycles that came through the 80s, all through the 90s, after that bailout in 2008, bro, you don't see them type of cycles no more. You get of course you get the COVID situation, and you get the I think that's about it. But even then, we dealing at high inflation and shit at that time. You see what I'm saying? So it's not like we can't play in these markets like people did back in the Gap.
yeah, they bought, what I'm saying, shares for like a potato and shit. They was able to really run it up, bro. Because you gotta think it's like the Warren Buffetts and stuff like that. It's all them people from that generation to like the 50s and stuff. all them people got all this freaking capital and all this wealth locked up into the stock market, locked up into like I said, the housing market and stuff, and they literally just sitting on it, bro. Like just
yeah. And it's all at the top too, bro. It's all at the top. That's so they do got to break that shit up there, and you know they have to. This shit right here, it can't go on. It can't go on. It's so top heavy. It's so top heavy, and you know they're not gonna let people be left out of like the middle class like that.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's why they even got it where like they pushing the fertility stuff and all that, because they know like with this stuff being like this, people don't want to have kids. People just want to, you know, do stuff a different way, and all that's gonna drop economic growth.
Some kids. You know, I'm gonna have me some kids, man. I got to catch up, man. I'm 5 kids behind.
Yeah, I got a game.
Damn, did you say 5, bro?
I'm 5 behind, man. I should already be at like 6, 7.
Man, I got one, dude. I can't, you know, just I'm listening to what y'all talking about. I just had to go run to the store real quick. But like I got the one, and then you know, Ty, my situation, you know, I'm widowed and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, when it's just like it's one person and you got a child in tow and you got to factor in everything y'all was just talking about. You know, honestly, I think it is a bit top heavy when you look at, say, like the boomers and the older Gen Xers and how they're pretty much kind of like they're locked in, right, on a lot of the investments and shit like that, 401ks and all that. If you knew and you trying to come to the market, or you know, if you on the younger end of the Gen X scale, millennial stuff like that, I mean, I got wiped. My first wipe out was with the housing crash in 2008. I lost my shit out here in Cali, dude. You know, I had a place and everything, and I ended up losing it over that. And so it was like a reset in a lot of ways. So, you know, for us, it's had to be like, we've had to be way more savvy, right? Like the crypto shit, that was largely for us. The business stuff, the business side of things, you know, with technology allowing us to tap in with factories in China to deal directly, you know, that gave us certain advantages. Let's just say, like, you know, my pop's generation and stuff, it would be hard for a black man to like secure a factory in China to produce his shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we was to think back, but today it's quite easy.
Yeah, that's another thing that's happening too, is that's one thing that I don't like about this shit, is that the government is stepping in and shutting down the trap overseas, man.
You know what? Okay, let's go there, man. Go ahead.
Because so right, I see a lot of different stuff, you know, over social media and stuff. I'm a big fan of like Kickstarter and shit. And you know, if you raise the money, they'll just start making that shit overseas. That's how easy it is now. Like if you secure the funds, they'll just start producing that shit. You fucking raise the money, they'll start producing that shit. And if they shut the trap down, I mean, that's another. I mean, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. That's one thing I don't like. I hate that. That's like they trying to close off the cheap labor from the new kids on the block, you know.
Right. This is the issue I got. This is the issue I got, right? Because what ends up happening is that you know, typically it's the younger minds that will think creatively to innovate some shit.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And there's been no other time where it's been easier for somebody to get their shit off. You know what I mean? It hasn't been up until this point in time. It hasn't been that easy for the average person to get their shit off, right? And so then what this does is this throws a monkey wrench into that. Like you literally just threw a wrench into like the 2 fucking gears that were rolling around, and you kind of cogged up the machine a little bit.
That's why, I ain't gonna lie. That's why I'm hoping that they just break the trap up overseas, because this whole, you know, we gonna run the trap house from America. Cut it out, man. Like,
Man, hey, but Ty, this is a couple nights ago. I was telling you though. A couple nights, I was like, look, them factories over there, bro. They think like we do in a lot of ways. Where like, if you got a big order that you're gonna send through, they'll be like, hey man, send it to this HSBC account in Hong Kong. Because look, they don't want the government in their pockets.
No, that's a fact. I got to show y'all, man. My security cameras, right? I just got some. I've been had them, but I got to put them up. When Trump was in office the first time, they banned these security cameras. But these security cameras, they look like daytime in the middle of the night. Like they process color and shit. It looked like daytime outside. And Trump, this one, I think it was remember when they blocked Huawei and like a few
They
other
blocked Huawei, Xiaomi, OnePlus.
Yeah. So
I was talking to Spawn. I was talking to Spawn, the programmer, yesterday about this shit. Literally about what you're talking about. Yep.
But it just like they kept that shit out. But this is why when I hear these people say, "Oh, they still are intellectual properties and shit like this," and it's just like they got shit that we don't even have. That you know, so they blocking stuff from over here.
I'll give a little pushback to that, though. I think some of that they were saying that they was finding like because that ties into even with the Huawei stuff. It won't just phones. It was like routers, 4G, 5G equipment, stuff like that. They
That's the
were saying
Huawei 5G switches, the 5G
yeah,
switches.
they were saying that it was like back doors and a lot of that stuff. So I mean, there might have been some bomb cameras, but they might have been, the CCP checking up on you.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a damn, bro. Shit. What the fuck they gonna use? Like I'm putting a camera inside of my safe or some shit. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, but I mean, if you think about it though, from a national security perspective, that means they got a hell of people with them
I still
cameras.
don't care. I still don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I still don't give a fuck. I'm on camera 50 times before I get to work. I don't give a fuck.
No, I'm not talking about for like we already know our government watch us, but I'm talking about they don't want them to watch us.
Hey, Global ID.
Yep, that's coming up in May, right?
They talked about that today. They said, don't even think you finna catch a flight without this new well, it's got a name for it, but it is
real ID. Real ID. Real ID.
But it is a global database. That's on a global database.
Well, they got the face scan and stuff at the airports now. So it's already all locking in.
I don't give a fuck. They already got me. They got me. My fingerprints in police departments and shit, bro. I don't give a fuck.
Like I worked for the government before. So they already got all my stuff.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
I just got my passport renewed the other day. They got all types of different security features on the laminates now. It used to be just a piece of paper between two kind of sheets of plastic, and it's like a holographic printout. But now it's like an actual hard piece of like polymer or something with.
Yeah, it's got that RFID and stuff inside of it now.
Yeah.
Hey Django, do you know? Hey Django, do you know? I'm hearing that like they're saying, even if you got a passport, that's not going to be good enough. You're still going to need a real ID. Have you heard anything about that?
Well, Ty played the video a while back, and in the I think it was like CNBC or something like that on the business channel, and they were saying that the new passports are equivalent to the real ID. But there's a new kind of card that is unique. That's not a passport. That's not a state ID. That's not a driver's license. And what really I think they said is going to be for like immigrants. You feel me? But that's in the archives. So I could put that up probably. But
I ain't going back to look for that shit.
Yeah, I think all new passports and IDs and stuff already meet the standards for the real ID.
Yeah.
Anything you got after a certain date.
It's a global database. That shit is a global network. That shit is not just on state ID type shit.
Well, you know there was when they
Man,
was talking about
that's
it today.
wild because that shit came from Cali, dude. Like I get, you know, man, I swear to God, dude, fuck Cali for a lot of shit it be doing, man. Because that real ID stuff came from here, bro.
I don't tell anybody can live there, bro. Like it's they wild out there.
Cali different.
Yeah, Cali is wild.
I hope all this
Man,
crash
it didn't used to be this way.
its
It
own
didn't used to
thing.
be this way.
I don't talk too much shit. That nigga Superstar gonna pop up.
You know what? I don't care, man, because look,
on the West Coast.
Man, look, let me tell you something, man. Because Cali was also the author of the EV mandate. And you know, that let's tie that back into the China conversation, right? Because, you know, that would have essentially handed the automotive industry here in the United States over to the Chinese. Right? And there was legit under Biden, there was a serious push to do this shit, bro.
Beijing Biden. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think where they really dropped the ball on that was they paid all that money for them charge stations and stuff, and they ain't come through with it. They ended up having
Bro, that was another money laundering scheme. How you get $8 billion, bro, and you only built 5 chargers?
Yeah, I remember
5 chargers.
That whole damn, the Build Back Better. That shit, man. And
they laundered so much money through that jump, bro. It was crazy. That whole bill was like just straight money laundering.
Yeah,
They
pretty
because I
wild.
think even some of that though did go towards Elon and stuff because they ended up because they couldn't fulfill those stations. Tesla now I think Tesla got the contract for their charger stations. They just got it where you got to pay like extra money to be able to use it for other vehicles and shit.
Yeah, I just, you know, I don't know, man. I was hyped for the Cybertruck. I remember we was talking about the Cybertruck when they first released it for pre-order. I pre-ordered one. And the deal was it was supposed to be an exoskeletal design. And that's when I was like, man, if Elon Musk put an exoskeletal truck out there with a bulletproof glass system in it for like, I believe it was like 49 was the base model at the time.
Yeah, it was 50,000.
Like 50.
And they even said that the range was gonna be further too. They were saying like it was gonna have the best range out of all the, and I was like,
so for me, bro, it's just like I was like, yo, I'm getting this shit. I'm gonna get this. I pre-ordered, and then what happened was they pretty much said so. Exoskeletal mean the actual frame is the body. That's why it was supposed to be exoskeletal. And then once I started doing more research on it, I was like, it can't be exoskeletal because it has to have a crumble zone for impact to pass safety standards. And so I was like, how are they going to do that? I was really interested. I was like, man, how in the fuck are they going to make this an exoskeletal design and it'll pass crash tests? And then once they came out, they was like, well, we changed the design a little bit and that it's going to be a unibody. I was like, man, get the fuck out of here.
I thought that what they were going to do was largely get that thing subsidized through the military. I thought they were going to make a military version of it. And then because they would have gotten contracts for that, they would have been able to sell at the base price a $50,000 version of it. I remember we talked about that shit, Tire City, like about 2 years ago.
Yeah, you know what? Somebody asked if I got my money back. I got my money back, but I was like one of the first 50 people to pre-order. I pre-ordered it as soon as the link was available from the showing that he had. I was one of like the first 50 people, and I canceled the order before too early, really, because I could have sold that shit for thousands of dollars. But I just once they started like talking about how they was changing shit, and then I was like, man, this ain't even the same truck. But
man, now the fucking the Tesla Cybertruck is just it's an electric pickup truck, dog. It's just a better pickup truck than the fucking Lightning F-150. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I wouldn't even say that, bro.
Yeah, because have y'all seen where they can peel the panels off? They literally can just peel the panels off on that junk.
Yeah, they coming off. But my thing is too is like with the Cybertruck is just that I'm a fan of angular design. So like,
yeah,
I got a Mitsubishi Starion. I've had like a third generation. I mean, a second generation RX-7. I like the first generation MR2. I like angular design, like Testarossa,
Countach.
Yeah, man. I like all that shit. Vectors. I love that shit.
Yeah.
And I'm an 80s baby. I like angular design, DeLoreans and shit. And so when I seen the Cybertruck, I said, man, that shit, that motherfucker lit right there. But
I'm not gonna lie, man, that shit, because remember, man, like if you remember the first conversations we was having about it, niggas was either rocking with it or not. It was very polarizing.
Oh yeah, motherfuckers, they didn't like it, but I was like, man, I got to get that motherfucker. And then, if you see one in person, they can't even have the panels are wavy, bro. It's like the panels not even. I was like, wow. Every time I see one, I just be like, it's just not worth it. You know what I'm saying? Give me a King Ranch Super Duty. You already know what time it is with me, man.
Yeah, F-350 in this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody said the Pontiac Aztec was angular too, man. Fuck that Pontiac Aztec. That shit was
man,
ass.
that was. Man,
ignore Shad Rock, man. He trolling.
Oh, okay. That's one of the ugliest motherfucking cars ever made.
Fuck, I look like in a Pontiac Aztec. Hey, them motherfuckers, they used to catch on fire because the placement of the fuel tank on those.
No shit.
Mm-hmm. Pontiac Aztec.
Huh.
They had they was prone to catch fire. They was trash.
Hey, you know what? You know what, Ty? Since we kind of on the subject of Tesla and all that, let's tie it back to this trade shit. Because who was that made that comment on a clip you played talking about Elon Musk, maybe like a night or two ago, and he said, "Well, Tesla, he just assembles, Elon just assembles cars, and he gets his batteries from Japan." Huh?
That was the trade secretary. That's what he said. He said he said not a car manufacturer, he a car assembler.
Assembler. And he literally dropped dime. He was like, "Oh yeah. He gets his batteries from Japan and China." And I was like, he just put all his business out here because people, I threw it in the chat on that live stream. I'm like,
it's public. You can see where Tesla source all their stuff from. It's public.
Yeah, but I'm saying but it's been said that in the gigafactories and shit like that, we even make the batteries and all that. I'm like, no, you assemble the batteries, dude. That's all Panasonic cells. Panasonic is who makes the cells for Teslas. At least
Panasonic just threatened to shut down shit. Panasonic
shit.
Yeah, from the tariffs.
Ooh.
Yeah, Panasonic put out like a memo. But hey, you want to know something about Navarro? Man, let me tell y'all something about Navarro, man. It's something that was so silly that I didn't even want to repeat it. And I know you heard this shit before, Django, that he referenced a fake economist in his book that he made up.
Peter Navarro?
Yeah, Peter Navarro, he made up a economist, like a character, and he references this fake ass economist that he made up to enforce policies.
What?
Yeah, bro. Shout out to Kim Deuce. Yeah, Ron Vera. It's a made up character.
Hey, it's the game, bro.
Man, listen, dog. Hey, this why I'm saying when people put all this faith in these
porn
people,
star name, nigga.
And people have they believe in these people. Yo, these people are literally running shit through their fucking imagination, dog.
Yep.
Yo,
who'd you hear that from? Nigga, Ron Vera.
Yeah, but my thing, no, he actually quotes Ron Vera in his like statements and shit. Like he gets advice from a made up person.
Yeah, Chuck Schumer does the same thing actually.
Trump does it.
Yeah.
Trump made up a dang man, what's Trump's made up thing that he uses on? But they refer to these people like they real, but they made up.
Yeah.
I didn't even want to repeat that on a live stream. I went and did some research on that shit. I'm like, wow, that's
yeah.
Hey, don't even worry about it. When they write the history books, it'll be real.
Man.
By the time they start writing the history books about all this.
Hey, that's Trump got a fake ass PR guy named John Barron. That's right. He got a made up fucking bro. It's a fake person that don't exist, bro. They
do this. Chuck Schumer has the Baileys. It's a made up family. It's like a fake. They're supposed to be like an Irish Jewish Catholic family that he made up, but he always
Irish Jewish Catholic.
Yeah, like they're Jewish, but they're also like some sort of Christian valued kind of family, but they're also white, but they don't want to seem too white.
But they're also Catholic.
Yeah. No, it's really fucked up. It's fucked up.
Man.
That goes on in these people's heads.
No, the crazy part is, man, I think they get off on like the regular people. Like it's like an inside joke. Like these stupid motherfuckers don't even know that I made up this PR person that I'm referring to. Like, but it's public though. Like it's known. He said John Barron was the alter ego that Trump made up.
Is this shit legal?
Bro, yes, bro.
Can you legally do this?
Bro, yeah.
Like, think about it, dude. If you
think about this, hold on. Think about this, right? It's like JD Vance was a made up character that he just made himself into.
That's not his real name. Yeah.
It's not even his real name. He made somebody to live as. The same thing with Benjamin Netanyahu. That's not his real name.
That's not his name. Yeah, it's not his real name. Yeah.
He's from Philadelphia. He's not even from here.
I kind of, but with them motherfuckers, man, like they do that. They do that, right? Because they don't want their Polish origins. I mean, look. For those of y'all that don't know, man, like y'all can look this up, man. Like the Ukraine is the old world headquarters of the Khazarian Empire. Okay, so that whole area of Ukraine and Poland and all that kind of that's where all your original OG Khazars set up shop, largely right there. Okay, so they'll like they flip their names around and shit because they need to be viewed as like, I guess, these original Hebrew people of Palestine and what have you. They're the original people going, returning home to their homeland or some sort of shit. So, we got the drop on why they do it, but I didn't know motherfuckers over on this side of the equation was coming up with fake shit. Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah, but look, he referenced that fake economist with this tariff shit.
But see, that's how they get away with, like, when stuff fucks up throughout history and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I say this for the history books, because when people look on this like 50 years from now, when we all old and we trying to tell them like, nah, that was made up, but they check the history books, they gonna be like, no, it really was John Barron.
Yeah, it's a record. It's an account of somebody, and it'll be this mystery person and shit, And that's when people are like, oh, it was his handler, but it was nobody.
Yeah,
man.
The fake family. Chuck Schumer had he used to call them the O'Reillys, and it was like a Irish Catholic family. And then it turned out like referencing an Irish Catholic family at the time was too ethnic for him, so he changed their names to the Baileys, which is like a white Jewish family. It's some fucked up shit. Fairy tales.
No. The crazy part is they sell it to the public. That's where it becomes.
That's the part. Yeah,
it becomes Orwellian whenever it's like, you making people believe in a fake character. Like how? Yo, what's up?
No, I was gonna say. So is this like political theater? Is that what this is?
Yeah, man. A lot of this shit is theater, bro. Like
Yeah, I
this
told y'all
tariff
this
shit. I
stuff
don't think
fluff.
shit. This tariff shit is a lot of theater, man. Like they're on, then they're
Yeah.
off, then they're on again. Fucking market manipulation every fucking day. That shit with JD Vance, that was scripted, man.
Okay.
People were talking
Yeah.
about how the fucking when Trump got shot in the ear that was fake. I was
Nah, bro,
thinking that was crazy.
Chill out. We
I was thinking people was crazy saying that
let's
shit.
go.
But, hey, man,
Let's
look.
do one at a time, man. Like we are. You know what I'm saying? We bring up the fake aliases, the fake PR people, the fake economists and shit, bro. Let's just stay on that, bro. We can't put on too many. We can't put on too many 10-4 figures, man.
Yeah, that's going a little too deep.
No,
Hey, but,
yeah.
back to the tariffs though, man. Like how long y'all think all this gonna stay hot?
Until they finish this motherfucker off, they got to break the system, bro. They're gonna break it.
The uncertainty, like, bro, the volatility in the market. They can't price the options right now, bro, because the volatility.
Django.
Yeah.
You gotta let me have it, bro. I told you that the bond market. I said, you was like, in our lifetime, I don't see it being. Hey, the bond market.
Well, let me tell you how that will play out for sure. What will happen because from all this selling, like I said before, it's like a natural stabilizer. The rate is gonna go up because they keep on dumping them. So eventually, the rates on these bonds are going to be so high they'll be profitable again to do the arbitrage scheme. So it's still gonna, you know what I'm saying? It just gotta, it's like a shock, basically. You know what I'm saying? It's going bad. So
let's shift gears to sleeper cells.
All right.
So
County just wrapped up an
so we have a situation here in Texas, right? You know, where they have a big ass mosque that they building out here called Epic City, right? Actually, let me play this real quick. So this chick kind of cute, but they built a big ass mosque out there, and now, you know, they built the mosque without permits. This big ass mosque out there.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
community is being proposed in Collin County, and it's getting a lot of attention tonight.
The Attorney General, in fact, is calling for an investigation into this community. It has a name. It's called Epic City, and it's connected to the East Plano Islamic Center. Governor Greg Abbott posting on X just a few hours ago, he says, quote,
Hot Wheels ain't having it.
Quote, the proposed community will never see the light of day. Tonight, our Amelia Magavro getting some answers on what's going on.
See, we're going to have that religious conversation because religion and politics is getting sticky outside, man. Yeah, the East Plano Islamic Center, Epic. That's the acronym for Epic. Yeah, they built the whole mosque with no permits, you know.
On here.
These 400 acres near Josephine between Collin
that land
and Hunt counties could
Damn.
possibly
I told y'all niggas.
become the new Epic City. Its website describing it as a community aimed at serving the needs of the Muslim community, including 1,000 homes, a K-12 faith-based school, a mosque, apartments, shops, and even a community college.
These niggas ain't playing.
They already bought the land?
Islamic Center.
They could build that. They could build that shit in Gaza.
Damn.
I'll tell you right now, bro. Hell no. People not having that shit here in Texas right now.
They gonna get that junk off probably, bro.
I'm finna tell you right now, it's gonna be big problems coming out of these mosques whenever they tear up our Iran.
Controversy. Attorney General Ken Paxton announcing Tuesday he's starting an investigation over Epic City's potential violation of state consumer protection laws, saying in parts, promotional materials advertised by Epic have explicitly stated that Epic is the only beneficiary of profits from Epic City. Representative Jeff.
They're not cutting people
God damn.
Yeah, they're not having that shit, man.
Leach of Allen wrote a letter to Paxton in February saying, quote, reports indicate that this large-scale real estate development may seek to incorporate elements of Sharia law into its operations.
Look,
Yeah.
but that's what I'm saying, though, bro. But listen, this is what I'm saying,
Let's
though,
go.
right? We got the freedom. We got the freedom of religion.
Yeah, we do.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. Hey, listen.
I'll fuck with it.
Hey, nobody. Hey, they got Amish people, and they got
Exactly.
what they call the people out in Utah?
Mormons.
You got the Mormons, and then out here in Cali, like in my area, they got the Sikhs and the Bangladeshis in their temples.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think down here in Houston, they got like the Sikh temple or Hindu temple down here. It's like they got like the 4th or 5th largest statue in the whole United States down here.
There was
them motherfuckers be having gold tip domes and all that shit.
Let it run. Yeah, grandpa, grandkids ain't having this shit.
According to the Council on American Islamic Relations, Sharia law is a framework for personal conduct and moral guidance, but the regulation of the law varies depending on the person and country. Governor Abbott posting this message on X, to be clear, Sharia law is not allowed in Texas.
Oh, shit.
That's discrimination.
Oh, damn.
Cities.
We don't give a fuck.
Now, leaders with Epic City tell me that their proposed community will be inclusive and open to anyone, not just Muslims. They also say they will follow local, state, and federal laws. And even legal experts telling me that the state's investigation could face constitutional obstacles due to freedom of religion.
Yep, freedom of religion. Told you.
Just the fact that this neighborhood or community would be predominantly Muslim, that is not illegal.
James Roberts is a civil rights attorney and says the state has every right to investigate if Epic City is violating state law.
There have been other communities, religious communities, that have had to deal with zoning ordinances and things of that nature, saying where they can and can't place.
Look at this traitor.
For religious facilities, and they've won those lawsuits because that is a substantial burden on their religious freedoms.
The organizers of Epic City denied a request for an interview, but wrote in a statement, "We understand that there has been a lot of rumor milling and misinformation circulated by many who are uninformed. We look forward to working with the Attorney General to ensure that we are in legal compliance every step of the way." Collin County commissioners plan to vote on Epic City.
See, and this is what I'm saying, right? You know, when it comes to religion, you know, it always turns into, you know, people trying to explain their religion. Like, you don't understand what my religion is about. You know, Sharia law is not about this. You know, Judaism is not about this. You know, but some people don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
like,
don't want to hear that shit.
Yeah, man.
But you know what? I will say this, dude, in like the Jewish neighborhoods and the Jewish communities and stuff like that. I'm trying to remember what they call that. Well, yeah. I need to get up out of there.
They call it. You mean tunnels? You talking about the tunnels?
Hey man, no, you need to get up out of there, bro.
No,
hey, they was just trying to.
Hey, I'm all the way up out of there now. Let me forget I brought that shit up.
Never mind. Nah, but that's what I'm saying. This shit right here will become, you know, and for me, man, I already know what's gonna happen. All these religions go get into it, bro. It's I already know, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm like, I'm cool on it. I'm cool on it. Like,
I can't be able to prolong them at work. But City, check this. The complex design was talking about the Hanuman that's in Sugar Land, Texas, from the Hindu guys. It is the 3rd largest statue. And
yeah, that's what I was talking about.
The Hindus have.
Oh yeah, that was easy.
So the Hindus have taken over southern Texas, and in City, you know about Irving. You know how Irving, Texas is.
yeah, they own
Texas.
all that shit outside the airport. They bought that shit a long time ago.
Exactly.
They got a big ass mosque out there. Yeah, they do Sharia law. So some dude killed his daughters because they was dating some white boys, and he got the fuck out the country. They don't SBE.
They send their daughters back.
Wow.
all kinds of shit.
Yeah,
Do you
they don't
remember?
SBE.
Do you remember when those two cops when they had that art gallery in Dallas and
Yep,
those
and
two
they
cops had
was
to
they
go
was
against?
yep, and they was
Mm-hmm.
drawing Muhammad.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and they make fun of Muhammad, and then I guess didn't they get I think they crashed out, didn't they?
It was a whole.
What?
It was a whole
Yeah,
shootout. It was a whole shootout.
yeah.
Yeah.
So this one church was
Damn.
so okay. So it was a church. They had a whole drawing contest to make fun of Muhammad, and nigga, the Muslims pulled
I
up and
remember
it got
this.
active, nigga. Yeah,
Yeah, they ended up canceling that shit from that point on.
yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. I already know you're gonna have these religions bumping into each other. My thing is, bro, like we got to stop these religions, man. We just, bro, where y'all see this shit ending up?
Get out of
I
there,
mean,
man.
Wait till the
like
Christian.
fighting. What you talking
Wait
about,
till the.
man? What's going on in
Man,
Gaza
that's what
right now?
America's all about, bro. What you
That's
talking
what I'm
about?
saying, man. Listen, I'm totally fine with religions wiping themselves out. Leave me alone.
You stay up out my hood though, if you're gonna do it
Yeah,
though,
that's
right?
what I'm saying. Hey, man, listen, man, leave me alone. Leave me out of it. You know, somebody said on some New World Order shit. Yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. It's just like, imagine, right? You have who was that I played the other day? Huck was his Huck was why do I want to say Huckleberry?
I
That's
think it's
funny.
Huckabee. You talking about that
Huckabee. Yeah, Huckabee. He the ambassador for Israel right now. And that dude is
Yep, Christian Zionists.
well,
he a flaming Christian.
don't get me started with that shit, bro, because the Christians and the Catholics, they all blended up together on the right, But yeah, that dude is saying, hey, we have to look after Israel. We have to look after Israel.
But if you really think about it though, Todd, like I don't really see religion going nowhere because it's a powerful tool, bro. That's why I keep telling people not to
No, and listen,
underestimate the power.
I'm not. Listen, I understand the power of religion. I don't disrespect people's religion because I know what it means to people. You know what I'm saying? But once it turns into, hey, we need to go in this direction as a whole, as a society, I got the right to say no, no.
Yeah, that's true, but that ties into like the stuff over in Israel though, because all those people at the top in Israel, like Netanyahu and all of them are atheists. So like,
But they straight Zionists over there.
yeah, so they using the religion for like power plays and stuff. They don't use it the same way, people over here gonna use it in other
And at
places.
the same time, bro, it's like you like.
Well, how do you determine that, right?
You got to play identity politics to even get to who's the real Jews. You got people claiming to be Jews. And even with Christianity, people be like, hey, man, that person ain't a Christian. And it's like, okay, well, he's, they claim to be Christians. They claim the same Bible. You know what I'm saying? And now it becomes my job to see who's the real deal Christian and shit. You see what I'm saying? It's just like, no.
Yeah, but that's how they play the game, though.
You got
They
your
give.
nice Christians and you got your aggressive Christians. Your aggressive Christians that's your NAR, that's your evangelicals. They ain't playing around. They'll shoot your ass.
Yeah, but the other thing too is from my live stream yesterday is that you have Christians who believe that this country is for white people. And that's how they riding.
Yeah, that's Christian nationalism. That's another group of Christians.
Right. And they again, God's country, not God's planet. They believe in God's country.
Yeah, but see, again, that's what they want, though, man. Because when you got division like that, you got a little flavor of whatever religion for everybody.
Man, you
And
can't even talk about division, bro.
But my only
Because
issue with
the
that
reason why
is
you can't talk about religion, I mean, you can't talk about divisions because each person in their individual religion believes that religion is the religion. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's the division is baked into the cake with them.
Well, I think the Abrahamic faiths kind of get along a little bit more than people think. Like
What?
Judaism, we get along a little bit better than y'all may think. The
Man, the
Abrahamic
whole
faiths
Middle
do get
East
along a little bit.
problem is because of all of that, bro. Like,
Do
Some
you
of
do
the
you
Muslims is
so let's do this, right? So you got Christians and you got Catholics, right? They be on the same shit politically.
you got Jesuits. They're with it as well.
Yeah. So it's like all these different fashions of like religions and shit. And it's
Then you
like,
got the black side of it is AME Zion, and CME.
yeah.
well, I would separate out the black side in the sense of the grandpa country people know how to sit the Christianity to the side for a time
Thank
being.
you.
Sometimes black people still like the Officer Tatum's. They ride with that shit till the bitter end. But your Nick Fuentes gonna put in that work. You feel me?
Thank
Like,
you.
Nah, yeah, Nick
Like a lot
Fuentes
of
felt like everybody else betraying the God's country.
yeah. If like all this shit,
Real shit.
well,
Y'all
like
betraying the pilgrims.
when white people talk about religion and when black people talk about religion, we're not talking about the same shit. Like it's completely different.
I disagree. The black church is fundamentally for more than religion. It's for power, politics, education. The black church was never fully
Yeah,
just
yeah. Close the
religion.
door. Yeah, close the door.
what power has the black church gotten? Like,
Nah, we're not
nationally
going down
or
that. We're not going down that road. We're not going down.
He ain't closing that.
Oh
Closing door.
shit.
I choose not to go down that road, bro, because once I ain't trying to discredit nobody religion, but I do want to like just look at this from all of these different religions making power plays. Like somebody, you know what I'm saying? Like, and each religion believes that their religion is the religion. It still calls for like bumping heads and shit. This shit
Let
gonna
me
be
ask you this. Let me ask you this, Tyre. What does that look like in the face of sort of like this fourth industrial technocratic era, right? Where everything is like ones and zeros and algos and shit like that.
Logically based. Just go ahead and say it based on logic.
Go ahead. Yeah. What you think?
I mean, you still gonna have people that believe, and like you gotta understand, bro. To what Easy was saying, this shit ain't no joke, bro. Like I got half of my family don't talk to me no more, bro. They don't talk to me, bro, because I showed them like how Jehovah's Witnesses are flawed, bro. And once I showed them Charles Russell Taze and everything, all his teachings that brought all the false prophecies that never happened and shit, his early works that they try to throw away and pretend don't exist and shit, it's all considered paganism now. I showed that to my people, and they was just like, "You are a heretic. You are a
damn."
Yeah, they called me I forgot what they call it, man.
Yeah, that don't go deep, man. That's what I was saying, bro. I've had situations like that happen in my own family, bro. Like my family was rolling deep in Christianity and a couple other things, and like literally, it's just
there we go. Yeah, I was apostate. That's what they called me. And the thing is, my bad, bro. I ain't trying to cut you off. Is that, bro? People cut their own family off over that shit, bro. Like they once that like people they never had a problem with. If you say, I don't believe this happened, I don't believe that the governing body is talking directly to God. I don't believe that. I think it's hypocritical that you can't take a blood transfusion, but they make you take a jab. Once you start saying shit like that, then you start bumping the system, and your own family will just fucking throw your ass to the wolves and act like you don't even exist, bro.
see. That's why I said that. No, you can never underestimate the religious piece because it's so much power in that, bro. It's just like you said. You can have somebody disown their own family, but you can get them to take a jab. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's a fact, and that's why when I look at this shit going down in Gaza with Israel and shit, it's like, bro, you can't stop these people. They believe that it's in their text, it's in their books. Like, you can't tell them that this ain't real. You know what I'm saying? They there's nothing you can do to get in the way of that.
and look, hey, all they had to do, and I'm just keep it real, all they had to do was the same thing Trump and them doing, a few thousand years ago, make up some alter egos, and
yeah,
it's law.
Man, they changed. I already told y'all about this, man. Like I could go right to the Bible verses that's took out of the new translation and shit. The new translation Bible, I'll go through and point out all the missing scriptures and shit.
Or they're missing books and everything too. They're consolidating Christianity so that they could use it better.
No, they not, bro. No, they not, bro. They going deeper into the different. I almost said cults. They're going off into the
So I
different.
agree with you on that.
They're going deeper off into these different sections.
I agree with you on to that part because if you look at the Branch Davidian down here in Waco, they were Christians.
Yep.
So I agree
I was
with you
gonna
on
bring
that
that up
part.
earlier.
Yeah, the branch. Yeah, and that was the FBI went in there and set them people on fire and shit.
Mm-hmm.
That was Janet Reno, man.
So there are a lot of Christian cults now.
Yeah, but who? But that's what I'm saying. Who are we to call that shit a cult?
Because it is because that's definitely
logical thinking.
Oh no, but the reason why the reason why I say that is because if they just doing the same thing that the Mormons do, they just doing the same thing that these people do with their mosque and shit. You see what I'm saying? It turns into, we're gonna have to have our favorites, our favorite.
But I think that where it ties into, like, see, they don't want people like us that can like see beyond the veil of all this stuff. They want you to be. That's why I said that's why they got so many different flavors of stuff. So they hoping that eventually something gonna catch you, like, oh, you're gonna be down with this group for this or whatever. And it's even going back to that fourth industrial age. I think that it's gonna even start tying into like technology religions and stuff, bro. Like it's gonna get crazy.
They already got that shit.
They already got that.
Tech. What they call that shit, man? Techno feudalism.
Yeah,
techno feudalism.
Actually,
accelerationists and
what's that junk that Tom Cruise is a part of?
Scientology.
Yeah, because that's even tying into like the Nation of Islam, because Farrakhan was dibbling and dabbling in that.
That shit, it's a deeper, darker criminal leak with that shit.
No, Scientology deep. Now, there are a lot of witchcraft going to Scientology is deep.
Yeah, but the thing with Scientology too is, right, and when I was doing my research on the Jehovah's Witnesses and shit, when it came down to, it was a guy by the name of Jimmy Swaggart. Jimmy Swaggart and Jimmy Swaggart got caught up in a tax situation, right? And this is where they was talking about the tax exemptions, right? Now, everybody's about to lose their tax exemptions under religious status, right? All these religions came together, bro, to fight against the IRS for tax exempt status, dog. And I'm talking about religions that's totally opposed to other religions. And Jehovah's Witnesses, they don't even believe in pretty much like mixing government and shit like that. They got in on that case, but they did it on the low to where nobody could really see the way they did it. They kind of supported in the back, but it came out later that Jehovah's Witnesses was right there with Jimmy Swaggart, the House of Scientology. All these big churches came together to fight against paying taxes and shit.
And that's when you know that it's religion up to a point, and then after that it's about the mugger, right?
Well, no, you gotta frame that. you gotta frame that right. You gotta put it as for the people at the top, it's only religion to a point, and then they get into the money and stuff. But these people on the bottom, the peons, they full hearted believe in it.
No, that's a fact,
Yeah,
bro.
true
And,
believers
and
for
that
real.
and that's man, I can show y'all, right? The guy, his name was Rock. I can't remember his name, man. Rock, I believe it's Rutherford. He the second person that took over the Jehovah Witnesses. But
Oh, where they started calling them Russellites.
no, that was before.
Oh, I got you.
That was because the first person was Charles Russell Taze, who was a straight up Freemason buried underneath the pyramid that
Yeah.
they took out of the graveyard like during COVID because people started doing research and they found out that this man was buried underneath a pyramid. But anyways, the second guy was Rutherford. Now this dude was a straight up fucking like a literal snake oil salesman type hustling dude that took his place, right? During the Great Depression, this dude had two like Cadillac 16 cylinders, built a big ass mansion out in California, and it was a mansion that was called Beth Sarim, and it's where like Jesus and his apostles were supposed to come back and meet at the house, but that shit never happened. But
the house was nice though.
yeah, the house was nice as hell. Yeah,
Ain't that house is always nice?
Yeah. So, yeah, like the people at the bottom, they was going through the Great Depression, selling these fucking magazines and shit, and he at the top, just living the lap of luxury on some. I'm buying this for Jesus. You know.
Hey, I'm right there with you on all this, Ty, because you know what I'm saying, like I said, my own grandmama and this stuff. And what's crazy though is one thing I give my grandma, she ain't never like disown us or nothing, because my mom has always been of a different faith than her. But my granddaddy, that's why I don't like these SBE dudes, because my granddaddy never believed in nothing, bro. Like he's almost an atheist, and they still been together they whole life, bro. So
Yeah, yo, you know what? It do be like that. Like you'll have one person that's a witness, and then the other person not. The guy got this house from his wife is a Jehovah's Witness, but he is not. You know.
Yeah.
He cool as a fan though, and they get along just fine. But they've been together forever. But for me, that's gonna be a no-go. Like it's just a lot of study, a lot of like those people, they dedicated to like spreading the word, and like, and that's another thing I had a problem with, was just like I don't think I was put on this earth just to like spread the word. Like I don't think that was like how my life was supposed to be utilized.
Yeah, that's a special kind of programming right there. Like when you just see like the wonderment of nature, like and all the shit that's out here in the world, and your one sole task in life, right, is to spread the fucking word, dude. I mean,
that's a fact. TJ said that the Jehovah's Witness is just a real estate corporation. That's a fact, bro.
oh yeah, they running it up on the real estate side of the game.
Yeah, they killing it on the real estate shit. They sold the big building that they had up in I believe it was in Brooklyn, bro. They had that building for like damn near 100 years. They just sold that motherfucker for like one of the biggest profits in real estate history, dog.
You know what?
Yeah, I know. Y'all also know the Mormons had a big hand in building Vegas out here.
See, that's hidden history.
Yeah.
And that's a hidden history.
Yeah, they still got.
Are you talking about like the modern day mafia run Vegas, or are you talking about like founding and settling
establishing
Vegas?
the city? Yep, establishing the city and the casino stuff. They invested in all that stuff out here as well. They teach it in high school or whatever. Yeah, it go deep. Yeah.
So for me, man, I don't disrespect people's religions, you know. But for me, you gotta count me out. You know, you gotta count me out.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that's what's. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, because
somebody was gonna say something. Nah, I was just gonna say.
No, you got it.
Yeah, that's why I came up here, bro. I was like, man, they gonna have to wait till a lot of these vets die off before they try to set up shop in Texas like that.
I don't know what the fuck they did. But see, we already got mosque. Like I said, we got a big mosque by the international airport.
Yeah, but the
That's a
mosque is
whole
one thing.
Nah, that shit
whole,
huge.
like
they got suburb. They got a community. That's what I'm saying. They already got that shit.
Yeah, check it. They already entrenched out here, bro.
And I'm not against it. They can do whatever they want, but you know what I'm saying? I don't know, bro. That ain't gonna sit right with a lot of people. I guess
it don't sit right. It don't sit right with me because I already know like what's going on in the Holy Land and shit. You know, that's what made me think about this shit now. Like, man, we tear up Iran and you know what I'm saying, they take over the Gaza Strip and shit. You think these people over here just gonna be happy and shit?
Now that's where the
Sleeper cell.
That's where the Alien Enemy Act would actually go into effect. Can actually be used. You know what I'm saying?
Man, listen.
I mean, it ties to that. I mean,
but look, check them out. Look, watch people. This is what people doing. They not happy about this shit.
Up an hours-long debate over a proposed 400-acre Muslim-centric community.
Yeah, the project is being developed by the East Plano Islamic Center and would be called Epic City if it ever gets off the ground, which is no sure thing. Thanks for watching. I'm Chris Lawrence.
I'm Cynthia Isaguirre. Tonight, Governor Abbott is prompting a new investigation into the community. Richard Solomon joins us live with more, along with concerns from some Collin County residents. Richard?
Well, yeah, guys, look, this public hearing started around 1:30 this afternoon, and I can tell you,
let's get to the good shit, man. Fuck this nigga.
Is this what you want between Collin and Hunt counties? I sure don't.
We must advocate for an inclusive Texas where everyone, regardless of race, religion, or background, can thrive.
Now, we've heard from at least 60 people. It's been
Look. Ain't no black people.
Uh-oh.
Ain't no
Homie
black.
got the America shirt. Look at him over there.
Hey, ain't no black people in this shit, man.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. They gotta wait for a lot of people to either die out from that Iraq war and all that stuff. I mean, like people my generation and stuff, because they got a lot of people that died over there, you know, fighting.
Oh yeah,
after
9/11.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Allah Akbar.
Yeah. So crowded that some had to listen in the hallways. The development in question, a Muslim-centric neighborhood that would bring 1,000 homes, a mosque, a school, and retail space and other facilities to 400 acres just north of Josephine. It's a project from the East Plano Islamic Center, which brought the land back in September. Now, it's just not Collin County residents who are weighing in. Earlier today, Governor Abbott announced he's asked the Texas Rangers to investigate any possible criminal activity. This is on top of a slew of other lawsuits and other agencies investigating Epic. But here in this room, people made their cases clear.
Can you please deny or delay any development decisions for 1 year?
I believe we do not want this in our backyard.
Yeah, people.
Uh-oh, we got the NIMBYs in the house. We got the
showed up,
NIMBYs in the house.
People showed up.
We don't want this shit, man.
Yeah, America first.
Not in my backyard.
Yeah, try that in a small town.
Uh-huh.
Singling out and fear-mongering Muslim institutions erodes the very values we claim to protect: equality, liberty, and justice.
Now, the developers were in that public hearing, but again, they say nothing is finalized and plan.
That shit going crazy, man.
Hey, but Ty, I think that they gonna actually not have no issues with that because I'm gonna give you a reason why. Out here in Northeast Houston, everybody was raising hell for years about that Colony Ridge that they built out here, and nobody shut that junk down. And that was like with all the illegals and stuff.
Look at this.
just 16 miles.
See, they already got this one built. This one is in DeSoto, which is actually like where the black people live.
South of downtown Dallas, in a quiet suburban city, sits the biggest masjid in the Lone Star State of Texas.
Welcome to the biggest masjid in Texas.
It has the biggest parking capacity in
I actually seen this one.
America, with 814 designated vehicle parking spots.
See, look, they own the houses over there too.
By land, the masjid sits on a 10-acre site, and the masjid itself is a 51,000 square feet, two-story.
Hey, they some builders. They put some shit together.
Praying capacity of 3,500 people.
Allahu
these niggas are scared.
Allahu Akbar.
Yeah, man. They got schools and shit. They
got a gym now?
Yeah, bro. This like a whole, bro. They have.
Well, let's go.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Let's go hoop. Shit.
Size of
500 people can pray in this area.
The main musalla is a breathtaking expression of faith, artistry, and cultural heritage, inspiration of Islamic architecture that has captivated the world for centuries. The musalla creates a grand, airy space that offers a sense of transcendence. The mihrab is flawlessly one of the most beautiful views of an interior of a masjid in all of.
Yeah, so that.
Yeah, they flexing, man.
Yeah, man.
They flexing.
Yeah. Hey, man.
Damn.
They getting it in, man.
Yeah, it do look nice. It do look nice.
I mean, it ain't no different from a mega church. You know what I'm saying? Like TD Jakes, don't he got a church up there in Dallas?
His shit big than a motherfucker, man. Hey, yeah, let me see if I can find his shit. Yeah, his shit, man, it's like he got a parking lot built on a valley. His shit. Hey, let me see if I can find a potted house. Let me see. He got apartments on there now. Let me see.
Yeah, that's right. It's the Potter's house.
Yeah. If you pay extra, you can sit in the big chair.
Stop playing. They selling seats.
Oh yeah, that's why you like Deion Sanders and them. They be going there. They be sitting in the front because they big time donators. Let me see.
Damn, that's what you get for your donation, a seat.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
You get more than that though, because that's how these guys go there, and like when they do something wrong, they get forgiveness and whatnot from the public.
They got a branch out here in Vegas. Potter's house. I don't know if it's still up though. Hold on. Now I want to see if it's still open. Because I remember my parents came out here and they wanted to visit it. It's like, y'all can go find it. It's off a Rainbow or something.
Let me see.
Oh, so the church is on Rainbow Street.
Yeah, they got one out here in Vegas. It's like a branch or like a secondary church.
I'm trying to find like a video of like the whole church. How come Powder House they don't have no like videos like the
who's running that shit? Cause you had that one nigga. Didn't this nigga he like lock the fucking church down? Was like come up off that 40K.
Oh yeah, that was
Didn't somebody?
Yeah, that was who that was, man. That was
one. That was Marvin South. That was Marvin South.
Who is it? Marvin who?
Marvin South.
Sap?
Yeah.
I mean, I just heard about. I saw the little viral video where this nigga literally he was like, "Nah, man, close the doors, man. Come up off that."
Yeah.
They need that.
Hey, these tariffs hitting hard, bro.
What's going on with the market?
Hey, I was funny. Hey, I was the first thing that popped up in my head, man, to be honest, when I seen that shit was angry man stopping the stream talking about donate. Make sure you donate. I'm not moving forward till you donate.
Oh no shit! Wow.
If I was the white man,
yeah, if I was the white man, it'd be.
If I was the white man, y'all.
Run them
How come niggas don't donate? Dang, man. I think this the only.
Oh yeah, Jimmy Swagger. You're right. More Matt, my bad.
Is TD Jakes even still like back preaching, or he still messed up?
Well, you know how they be doing it. They have like I don't know what you call it, but like junior pastors or other types of pastors that fall under him, and so he'll preach on at certain services. But the other pastors, they the ones he let them get their shine or whatever.
Man, this is the only picture I can find of.
Second string pastors. Yeah, they let them do it.
But yeah, man, I got to get out of here, man. We had fun. We talked about China and the tariffs and how we got to go to 400 to 500% tariffs for that shit to even mean anything. We talked about insider trading. We talked about illegal immigrants being allowed to stay in the States as long as they picking grapes. You know, we talked about did we talk about Kamala Harris acting up when she said, "Can you imagine if I was this shit?" I gotta get somebody drop the link to that shit. Let me see if I can find it.
She said, wait, run that. She said, can you imagine what?
Pretty much said, like, can you imagine if I did? She was following Barack. Barack said, could you imagine if I was doing what Trump did? Let me see.
She said that.
I will say if Signalgate had happened with her fucking national security team, she probably would have been impeached and removed by now.
Here we
Probably.
go. Here y'all go. Here she go. My thing is, why don't she just like it didn't work? You find somebody else to like get behind, you know?
He knew what happened. Many things. I'm not here, so I told you so.
The fact that Donald Trump's plans for the economy would accelerate inflation and invite a recession by the middle of next year.
Increase inflation, and by the middle of next year would invite a recession. Increase inflation and invite a recession by the middle of next year.
A recession on by the middle of next year.
To a recession by the middle of next year.
We don't care about recession. Like
Recession by the middle of next year. Recession by the middle of next year. A recession by the middle of next year. Recession by the middle of next year. A recession by the middle of next year. Recession by the middle of next year.
So again, like I guess she's going around talking shit, you know. Roscoe says she got a point.
But ain't inflation at like 5-year low right now?
Hey man, listen.
I think I saw something. I saw something about that today, but hey, I'll tell you this. This is kind of like my last words. I know you're gonna get going, Ty, but had she gone on? Good.
What I want to say is, Jerome Powell is not finna touch them interest rates now because this is too much back and forth, and they not finna make a decision on interest rates.
Yeah, I agree with that.
They could. If the plan was to get lower interest rates, they should have let it play all the way out until they got where it needed to go. But for right now, I know for a fact they're not finna touch no fucking interest rates.
Well, I'll just say this, and I'm gonna drop off. You know, of course, if I were to go based off of what she was touting as a geoeconomic strategy, right? She basically said, "Oh, we would just continue to do what we've been doing." That was per her words, right? So that means that we wouldn't have really seen much. We wouldn't be seeing much of what we're seeing now had it been her. And really, what we'd be looking at here is basically the flooding of a lot of Chinese products, because based on how they were looking at doing things, China was about to come in and eat the automotive market. They were about to come in and essentially get what they wanted. They had been buying up the land already. See, so we already got an indication of what an economic policy would have looked like under her, because it would have just been a continuation of what you had the 4 years prior. With that, I'm out, y'all. It was cool chopping it up.
All right, bro.
Yeah,
Let me
peace, bro.
Let me run that. Here we go. Here we go.
Imagine if I had done any of this. Let me just, I just want to be clear about this. Imagine if I had pulled Fox News' credentials from the White House press corps. You're laughing, but no, this is what's happening. It's unimaginable that the same parties that are silent now would have tolerated behavior like that from me, or a whole bunch of my predecessors. I say this not on a partisan basis. This has to do with something more precious, which is, who are we as a country and what values do we stand for?
Man, that's grandpa country, man. What the
Yeah,
fuck are you talking
knock
about?
it off, man. Them motherfuckers trying to get the essence back.
I got the world's smallest violin in my hand right now, bro.
Yeah, man. Fuck out of here, man.
Hey, but great stream, Ty. I'm gonna let you get on, bro. Catch you on
tomorrow
the
I
next
might
one.
take a break. Tomorrow I might take a break for real though. Like, for real.
Ah, man, Obama got a point, man. Why y'all? Never mind. Let me go. Let me get out of there. I catch y'all.
All right, later, man.
All right, bro. You know, as we proceed, man, we got 3.5 hours in today. Again, I have to apologize. I was wrong. Okay. No. I was right, but I gotta apologize for saying I was wrong. But now I'm right again, because we got cheap labor. All right. We got cheap labor in the building. They gonna let the gang stay, pick the apples, pick the oranges, pick the watermelons, pick the cucumbers, pick the grapes. You know, we still outside. We're gonna let the cheap labor, build a house. Yes, uncut construction. The plan's back on. I need to go back in and see what's going on. If I was you guys, I would look into the Department of Agriculture, the grants, and just go look through the Department of Agriculture. Go look through there. I'll tell you right now, it's gonna be super litty. It's gonna be super litty. A lot of stuff gonna happen outside of city limits. That's so with that being said, I'm out of here. Unless some bullshit happen, I'll be back tomorrow. All right. But yeah. Black Simba said that's for FWA. You got me fucked up. Oh yeah, let me check something else before I leave. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. So, look at the grants now for the black man. Y'all got me fucked up. Zoom to the country. I've been telling y'all for years, man. I'm out of here.